Now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Whaley versus Garrison. Step forward, please.
Dental aide Cheryl Whaley is suing her daughter, 25-year-old graphic artist Jessica Garrison, for bail money and attorney fees. Jessica says she never asked her mom to bail her out.
Miss Whaley, the defendant is your daughter.
Yes.
She was arrested sometime last year.
Yes.
And you posted the bail for her and also paid $1,200 for an attorney for her. It is your claim that she agreed to pay you back, and she has not.
Yes, sir. Ma'am.
Your daughter says while she did accept the bail and while she did accept the attorney and the services of the attorney, she never agreed to pay you back. That's just what moms are for.
That wasn't the agreement.
Okay. When were you arrested and what for?
I was arrested in November of last year, and what for I'm not able to discuss right now because the case is still pending and I can't talk about it.
What was your bail?
I know she had to get like $2,000. That's how much it turned out to be that she had to get out for a loan.
Did you get any of the bail back when you appeared in court?
After months and months of constantly going back to court, yes, I did.
How much did you get back?
$1,800.
What'd you do with the $1,800?
I paid my rent for 2 months because they had extradited me.
But that was your mother's money.
She bailed me out, and I didn't even know she was...
Just a second. The bail fairy didn't post your bail. You knew somebody posted your bail, madam. So if you got the bail money back, you knew it was your mother's money. What right do you have to use it for something else?
Because after I had gotten out, I had had a discussion with her, and she told me not to worry about it. You know, I'll get my taxes back next year, and we can square up then. And I have...
Who'll get their taxes back next year?
Me.
How old are you?
25.
Who is that?
That's my husband.
Does he work?
Yes.
What do you do?
As a security guard.
You have children?
Not
I
yet.
have one, and we have one on the way.
Do you work?
Yes.
Well, the two people work. Why are you taking money from your mother? Are you an heiress? You got some nerve. You've got some nerve. Your mother posted $2,000 bail. You got back $1,800. The least you can do is give her back the $1,800 and say, gee, Mom, thanks.
I couldn't pay her that $1,800.
It wasn't your money. I don't know whether you are stupid or thick or just dishonest, but if you said to your mother, I really wish I could pay you back this $2,000, and your mother said, don't worry about it. Now, she wasn't expecting that you were going to get a check for $1,800 and then go blow it on something else. You said, we'll square away when I get my taxes. She wasn't anticipating that you were going to get her money back and then spend it. You understand? I don't care what you spend it on. Between the two of you, you weigh more than your mother. Pay your own rent. He looks healthy enough, let him get 2 jobs. You get 2 jobs instead of having another baby. If you can't take care of your own business, you have no right having more children. You can't take your mother's money and then say, well, I can't work because I'm having another baby. That's ridiculous. Look, this is not a difficult case. She got back $1,800 on the bail. Paid the lawyer $1,200. That's $3,000. Is that satisfactory?
Yeah.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,000.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Our relationship is kind of severed right now.
Considering that I was out of work for a month and I had to pay my rent, and if I didn't, then I was going to have to ask her for the money or ask somebody for the money, then I don't think I was wrong.
Don't know how much I could trust her.
Always button heads, I don't know. Always something.
Can't even count on family.
That I could have a relationship with my mom like most.
Next case.
All parties in the matter of Pike versus Pedersen. Step forward, please.
Landscaper Richard Pike is suing ex-girlfriend, loan consultant Tanya Pedersen, for breaking a lease when he suddenly moved out. Tanya says Richard told her he wanted to be single again.
Mr. Pike, the defendant was your girlfriend. According to your complaint, you lived together someplace else, and you've been together for a while, and you came down to
San Diego,
and took an apartment together, along with a third roommate. Is this the third roommate?
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
Good. You signed a lease, all 3 of you, and you moved in February of this year. And according to you, a month later, the defendant moved out.
Yes.
And you want her to be responsible for her third share of the remainder of the lease, right?
That's correct.
Plus, you want her to pay for half the amount that you believe she owes on a credit card that's in your name because you used it to pay joint bills.
Correct, Your Honor.
Ms. Peterson says that you made it unsafe for her to live there and that she doesn't owe you anything on the credit card. She paid as she went. And she says, how dare you sue her for any money when you used her car and her gas and her insurance on the car for almost a year without giving her any money.
That's correct.
The lease was signed January 1st or starting February 1st?
February 5th, I believe it was.
How many bedrooms are in the apartment?
2 bedrooms.
You were sharing one with Miss Peterson.
Correct.
And
Joseph
had his own bedroom. So how much rent was Joseph paying?
$650 a month, I believe it was, and we were paying $670.
Are you all still living there? Is that right?
Joseph and I are, yes.
You're going to continue to stay there?
Yes, Your Honor.
You don't want anybody else sharing your room with you, do you?
Not at this particular moment, no.
Then why are you bothering her about the rent?
Because we moved in with an agreement that we had planned all this, and if she had, not wanted to live there, then she shouldn't have moved in the first place. And
well, let's go back a second. She moved out on what date?
Approximately March 8th.
March 5th, Your Honor.
And did you pay March's rent?
Yes, I did.
What about April? Did you give money in April?
No, I did not.
That's incorrect, Your Honor. She paid me for April rent.
Okay.
You paid for April rent. See that? How did she give you April's rent?
Reluctantly.
No, how did she give it to you?
In a check, form of a cashier's check made out to the landlord.
Now, Miss Peterson, you want to tell me why you moved out?
Yes. On the morning of March 5th, on the way to work, we had been sharing my car, and he was driving me to work. He was venting to me about wanting to be single, about feeling like
No, I want you to tell me what he said.
Okay. He basically said he wanted to be single.
And you said why?
He said that I was inadequate, pretty much.
And Mr. Pike, you remember that conversation?
But I didn't tell her she was inadequate.
What did you tell her?
I told her that, I was frustrated with the way things were going as far as, like, me doing all the cleaning and upkeep on all the things and the bills and worrying about the bills. And wasn't being, I was just being figurative when I said that. I wasn't being literal. Just something I said off the top of my head.
That'll teach you. So you told...
So on the way, he dropped me off. I let it go. He picked me up from work, and I said, well, I want to finish this conversation. I agree with you. I'm not happy. You're not happy. Let's call this quits. And he said, well, why aren't you happy? I said, there's lots of reasons. And he then crossed the double yellow line in my car and started driving towards oncoming traffic full force.
That's incorrect, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
We're coming towards oncoming traffic, and he peels into a parking lot, slams on the brakes, yelling profanities at me, jumps out of the car, slams the door, walks away. I was standing there shaking, about 5 minutes. So you had a big fight? Yes, and I left, drove away, got my stuff, and left.
Okay. Does the fight sound familiar to you? That
half of it does. I was stranded out where I was left, and then my roommate came to pick me up.
So you remember having this big fight?
Right.
Mr. Pike, if I find that it's not a good idea for the two of you to live together, which I do, you're not happy with her, she's not happy with you, you're certainly not going to share a room together for the next 10 months. You have to do, or she has to do, what we call mitigating the damages, which means reducing any damages that there might be. So you can do either one of 3 things, Mr. Pike. You can either pay it yourself with Joseph, and the two of you live there together. That's one choice. You can, at this date, find a new roommate to share your room with you, your bigger room. That's your second choice. The third choice is to have Miss Peterson find you a roommate. She might be able to do that. You might not like it. But that would also mitigate your damages. So you want to tell me what's your pleasure?
According to the choices, let's see.
One from column A, one from B. Or is it door C?
But there's no room for someone to move in there. When am I have another guy move in there like we're in college, I mean, I'm 30 years old. And she signed a lease. Why did she sign a lease if she didn't want to live there?
Because, Mr. Pike, when she signed the lease, it was anticipated by both of you that you would be able to share a room together and live as a couple.
We did for a year and a half before that in Seattle.
Pay careful attention to me, sir. That didn't work out. And based upon what I heard, it didn't work out by mutual agreement. You weren't happy, and you let her know that. She wasn't happy. Then there was a flare-up, and I find that it is not in the best interest of the community for the two of you to be forced to live together. Therefore, in contract law, you have to do what's necessary to mitigate your damages. She's not moving in with Joseph because he's your friend. You want to stay there with him alone, pay your rent. You want her to find you a roommate? I'll order that she put ads in the newspaper, select somebody. You never can tell, you may get a roommate that looks like her. Go ahead.
I'll take choice A on that one.
That you and Joseph will stay together. I sort of thought that you would. Now, you want to go into this credit card with me, sir?
She couldn't get a credit card because of her current credit status, so I filed for a credit card, got one, and we used it just for groceries, living expenses. It was always agreed upon. You know, she'd always promised to pay half of it.
Now I'll hear your end of it.
Yes. The whole time that we were together, I used my debit card for food purchases, gas purchases, car purchases, insurance. He was using my car for a year. The total amount of expenses that were incurred for both of us over the last 12 months is over $10,000.
Show me.
And, Your Honor, that's incorrect because I sold my truck August of 2002 for us to have money to move down here. And so I only used her card in Seattle for like 2 months.
I'm looking at her debits. I want to see her debits since while you were living together.
And you can note on the... Oh.
And I want to see the final bill as of March 5th. Well, it seems she had a bank balance and she had money that she was taking out pretty regularly. Larger
I used
item.
my debit card as well as the credit card, too. I mean, I had a debit card as well.
Show me.
I didn't bring my own, brought the credit card statements with me.
Well, did you work?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did she work?
Yes, when we moved down here, neither one of us were working, and we were using the credit card to live on.
Can I? That's inaccurate.
Well, she's got some items here where she went grocery shopping and used her debit card, sir. If she went shopping for food and she spent $42 for food, and then you went the next time and used your credit card, do you expect any judge to sit there and figure out the difference and who owes who what? That's what happens when you live together. We do not have a court system in place for people who almost have a commitment to each other. It just doesn't work that way, Mr. Pike. Get over it. Hope you and Joseph are very happy together. Take your bills and pay them. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I wasn't safe. I couldn't stay.
She's melodramatic, and she likes to just be dramatic about things, and it's a bunch of BS.
Substance abuse issues, mental abuse, emotional abuse, you name it. It was horrible. I'm so glad that I don't live there anymore.
She didn't make payments and basically was going to dodge out.
It was really scary.
All parties in the matter of Ercolani versus Wilby, step forward, please.
Casino worker Mary Ercolani is suing her deceased friend's husband, casino worker Alan Wilby, for a gambling debt incurred by his late wife. Alan says Mary enabled his wife's addiction.
Ms. Ercolani, it is your claim that Mr. Wilby owes you $4,000 for a debt that was incurred by his wife.
That is correct.
He says he owes you nothing. So you want to tell me about this debt?
About the 3rd of August, she called me at work.
Where do you work?
For casinos.
Where is that?
That's in Las Vegas.
So she called you at your place of business, at your work, at your job, and said what?
She said, I'm going to get an early out tonight. Why don't you come over and we'll play for a while?
Play what?
Gamble. Play the machines. I went over to the Aladdin, and she said to me, do you have your credit card? I said, yes, I do. She said, can you get me $4,000? We went to the cage. We purchased tokens there, our chips. I gave her the tokens for $3,000, which she cashed out and got cash for, and $1,000 cash.
And what did you discuss with her about this money?
Well, she immediately wrote me this check that I have right here.
Let me see what she's got.
And she said, I'm due an inheritance from my great uncle, I believe she said. And she said, well, as soon as I get my inheritance, I'll give you your money back. And she has borrowed off me through the years and has paid me back $200 or $300 a month, but it was never this large amount. Mm-hmm. And so she handed me that check, and she said, as soon as I get the inheritance, you'll get it. I said, I'm going on vacation. I need my money back before going on vacation in October. My family are coming, and I got to have this credit available for my vacation. She said, oh, you'll have it back. I'm sure I'll have it by the end of August or early September at the latest. You'll have it long before
Did you get it back in October?
No. I called her, and we talked in September. She called me, and she said, Mary, I apologize, but I don't have your money yet. One of the aunts and a cousin have contested it. But as soon as I get the money, I'll give you your money. Or I'll write the date on the check, then I could deposit it in my account. And that's what my plans was, to deposit this check.
I understand what your plan was, but unfortunately, Mr. Wilby's wife took her own life in November. Is that right, sir?
15th of November.
Had your wife had a history of depression?
Yeah, she was on, I don't know what it was, Prozac, I think.
Did she have a gambling problem?
Big gambling problem. I tried to get her to go to Gamblers Anonymous, which she did a few times. And she'd do good, and then every time she'd get with this lady, she'd start all over again. I tried to get her to stay away from her, but according to both of them, they were really
That's not a
best
true
friends.
fact. We didn't get together that often.
Well, you already told me that you lent her
times a
money
year
over.
was too much.
Shh. You already told me that you lent her money frequently and that she paid you back.
And I would leave and go home, and she would go out on her own.
I don't understand why you would give her $4,000. I'm not necessarily doubting that you gave her the money, but if you knew that Mr. Wilby was concerned that his wife had a gambling problem, why would you give her $4,000?
Why wouldn't I give it to her? She was
Because-
my best friend.
Well,
She
listen-
asked me for it. She needed it. I gave it to her.
Well, then that's your problem. I just asked you a question. You didn't answer the question. I said, why would you contribute to her gambling problem?
Because I'm a gambler also, ma'am.
Well, then you deal with the $4,000. Case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
If they didn't have a problem, major problem in his home, she would not have been a gambler.
She called me on the phone the day after my wife committed suicide.
If my husband had taken the money, I would have surely given him the money back.
The next case.
All parties in the matter of Harris versus Silva. Step forward.
Photographer Jeremy Harris is suing painter Shannon Silva for the cost of a digital camera. Jeremy claims Shannon stole it.
Mr. Harris, you had your camera stolen,
Yes, I did.
and it was an expensive camera. You are a photographer by trade,
I am.
and it is your claim that Mr. Silva stole your camera.
It is.
Mr. Silva says he doesn't know what you're talking about. When was your camera stolen?
On April 18th, which was a Friday,
Where was it stolen from?
from a bar in San Francisco.
Had you ever seen the defendant
No.
before April 18th?
I did not.
Did you see him on April 18th?
No, I did not.
Then what makes you think he stole your camera?
I received a phone call on April 23rd, actually the 22nd, I didn't check the messages until the 23rd, from an individual claiming to have my camera, and he was using it for his own personal use, and was not going to give it back, and some obscenities, and that was basically the gist of the message.
So you think that somebody who stole your camera called you, knew who you were, so they had to have been at the function, or they had to have known you. Is that right?
I returned to the bar that it was stolen from and put up a flyer outside the bar and inside the bar, talked to some of the bartenders and the people who may have been there. And on that flyer, I offered a reward for $200 for the return of the camera, no questions asked, and
Put your
left
phone
my
number.
cell phone number on it.
I see. So anybody could have walked in and taken that number
Yes,
and called you,
yes,
whether they stole the camera or not.
yes, that's true.
So if somebody wanted to torture you, they could have done that. If somebody was acting like a fool, they could have done that.
That's absolutely true.
Now, what makes you think it was Mr. Silva?
The person who left the message conveniently left his cell phone number on my caller ID on my cell phone,
Okay.
which I, after reporting it to the police, I took the liberty of going after the information myself, which led me to Mr. Silva
How did you get to him?
through an online investigative service.
Do you have that
I do.
recording? I'd like to hear it, please.
Hey, I'm calling about your Nikon Coolpix 5000 small black little camera with strap. I found that thing the night you lost it, so but it's been very useful, and I just wanted to let you know that hey, I've got some really good footage and stuff. Hopefully, I'll be able to incorporate it with my business. So cool. I'll put it to good use. Don't worry. There's no way I'm ever going to give it back to you. So just write off the tax deal, whatever. I don't care. But you're hopefully you didn't do it in the first place. So you're stupid. Later.
What's the name of the bar? This.
The tavern?
Have you ever been there, Mr. Silva?
Yes, I have, Your Honor.
Now, let's not even talk about whether or not you stole his camera.
Did I steal his camera?
I didn't ask you whether you stole
I
his
didn't
camera.
hear the question.
I said, let's not even talk about whether you stole his camera or not. Let's talk about whether you were an idiot and made the phone call. For fun.
For fun?
Yeah, just for fun.
Well, Your Honor,
Just for fun.
I'm not quite clear on what you're trying to say to me, Your Honor.
What I'm trying to say to you, Mr. Silva, is that you made the phone call because you were a jerk. That doesn't necessarily mean you stole the camera. As a matter of fact, I think that you probably didn't steal the camera. I think that you probably saw the flyer that he put up, which described the camera.
It did.
And decided just to be a dumb creep and call this man and torture him. And do you know why I think that? Who's this person sitting with you?
She's my girlfriend.
Because I was watching her face very carefully, and she knows you called him. So you owe him an apology. You probably didn't steal his camera, but you put him to a great deal of trouble.
Your Honor, if I may.
Mm-hmm.
I called Mr. Harris, and I'm not really quite sure exactly what had happened that evening, the night the phone call was made on the 22nd, but I have no recollection of making the phone call.
But you say you did call him.
There was a phone call made from my phone, but because of my intoxicated state, I have no clue of what had happened. As bad as it may seem, when he summoned, the papers were summoned to me by the court to appear for this theft of the camera, I had no idea.
Mr. Silva.
None.
Mr. Silva, just listen to me, sir. I'm not suggesting to you that you stole his camera. I'm suggesting to you that you were a jerk. It's your voice, Mr. Silva, on the tape. That's you.
I assume responsibility, even when I called...
Perfect! Perfect.
Just for the fact that it came from my phone, Your Honor.
Perfect. Listen to me, Mr. Silva. You made the phone call. She knows you made the phone call.
Your Honor, she doesn't know that.
Sure she does.
She doesn't know
Sure
that.
she does. If you would have taken a look at her face before, when he took out the machine to play the machine, fortunately, we recorded her face.
Well, I think that you...
Fortunately, we recorded her face, Mr. Silva, so you owe him an apology.
I disagree with that last statement.
You owe him an apology.
I already apologized to Mr.
Good.
Harris.
Mr. Harris, you don't have sufficient proof that Mr. Silva was anything other than drunk and acting like a jerk that night and acting stupid. We have succeeded in displaying that to probably 10 million people. You may feel satisfied, sir, but as far as recouping the cost of your camera, I can't help you with that, Mr. Harris. Got it?
Yes.
Case is dismissed. That's all.
Thank you.
Please excuse me. Step out.
He wanted to take it a little bit further, so he did.
That was the only lead I had to go on as to who had it. So I was going on that evidence.
This is the first I've ever heard of it. I can't question it. It sort of has some similarities to it, but I'm not quite sure. It could have been one of my friends that I was with tonight. Who knows?
I received some insurance money, and all I wanted was an apology, which I still have not gotten, for the phone call, which really, really upset me.
She spoke with Mr. Harris regarding the camera, and we expressed to him that we had nothing to do with stealing his camera. He says, I don't care. I don't care if he took it or not. I just want my money.
The next case.
All parties in the matter of Pagan versus Whetstone, step forward, please.
Machine operator Demetrio Pagan Jr. is suing his neighbor, alarm company owner Chuck Whetstone, for the cost to repair his car. Demetrio says his daughter's boyfriend had to jump on the roof when Chuck's German Shepherd chased him.
Mr. Whetstone, what kind of a dog do you have, sir?
German Shepherd.
How old is this German Shepherd?
15 months.
Mr. Pagan.
Yes, ma'am.
On what date did your daughter's boyfriend jump on your car?
April 11th.
So the dog at that time was a little over a year old, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And it is your claim that this young man, who is how big? How tall are you, sir?
6'3".
6'3". Are you still growing?
No.
Who was 6'3" tall, jumped on the hood of your brand new car.
Yes, ma'am.
To get away from Mr. Whetstone's German Shepherd.
Yes, ma'am.
Which had gotten loose. Mr. Whetstone's defense is, it was just a puppy. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you afraid of dogs?
Yes.
All dogs or just big ones?
Just big ones.
Tell me what happened on April 11th. Tell me where you were.
Well, I was standing at the end of the driveway, and Jacinia and her cousin, they was like at the beginning of the driveway where the garage meets, and they started running inside the garage, and I turned around and looked, and I seen this dog just coming across the yard. And so I ran in the house, but they closed the door already, so I didn't have no choice.
So they ran in the house and closed the door on you?
No. They ran inside the garage. It's a door inside the garage. They ran in and closed the door. By the time I had to run to the door, it was too late, so I just jumped on top of the car. It was the closest thing, and the dog was, barking, and someone came in and got it.
Was the dog barking as it was coming across the yard?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Whetstone,
Yes, ma'am.
how did your dog get out, sir?
My son was taking him from the house to the...
This is son.
Actually, his younger brother. They were both out in the front yard at the time this happened.
Step back. Tell me your name.
Charles Whetstone.
How old are you, Charles?
19.
How'd the dog get away?
My little brother was taking him out to his kennel, and the dog pulled away from him. And I was sitting in my truck because we were getting ready to go to the dirt bike store.
And?
And the dog pulled away from him, went down the driveway, crossed the street into the neighbor's yard, and he was just sniffing around. As soon as I saw him get loose from my brother, I was out of my truck and I was chasing after him.
When you say you were chasing after him, that connotes, at least in my mind, that you were running.
Well, I wasn't like full out running, but yes, I was like jogging after him.
Show me how you were jogging. Give me an example.
An example?
Yeah.
I was just jogging kind of slow because I know my dog he's not a vicious dog at all, you know.
I didn't ask you to editorialize about his personality.
Okay.
I asked you if you were running after the dog. That means the dog was running away from you.
Yes, he was.
Now, when you called, what's the dog's name?
Nico?
Nico. So you saw Nico get away from your little brother.
Yes.
And as soon as you saw that, you jumped out of the truck?
Yes.
And what did you say?
I started calling for my dog. I started yelling.
Yelling.
Nico.
Nico! Nico! And did Nico stop?
No, he did not.
Because he's not well...
Trained.
Perfect. May I see photographs of your car?
They're not too good, too clear, but that's all I have.
You really went up on the top of the car. This isn't the hood.
Top
You went
of the
up
roof. Yeah.
the roof of the car.
Yeah.
You couldn't get far enough away from Nico.
Closest thing.
How long had you had the car, Mr. Pagan?
So 2003, I gave it to her for Christmas.
So it's a new
And
car.
that-
You have
4
an
months when
estimate?
that happened. Yeah.
You have an estimate
Yes,
to
I do,
fix
ma'am.
it?
I have 2 estimates.
Can I see it, please? Mr. Whetstone, your defense in this case was that Mr. Pagan should look to his daughter's boyfriend for reimbursement because his daughter's boyfriend acted like a fool for jumping on the hood of the car, and or the fact that he was a sissy because your dog is just a puppy. Both of those defenses fall on deaf ears, sir. They are both ridiculous. You are responsible as the dog's owner to ensure that the dog is at all times under control of either an appropriate adult or in an enclosed area. I would be afraid, and I love dogs, and I would be afraid of a 70-pound German Shepherd coming lumbering across my property, barking, and I would look to escape the best way that I could.
He wasn't being vicious. He wasn't acting...
That is subjective, sir. Some people are afraid of dogs.
I know. One of my friends is actually deathly afraid of German Shepherds as well. But once she saw that my dog was friendly, she didn't have a problem with him being around.
So your friend isn't suing you. He's suing you because your dog got out of your control because you sent your 13-year-old brother out to do it and he couldn't control the dog.
He couldn't control the dog.
He did not control the dog, sir, because the dog got loose. What you should have done is say, I'm sorry my dog got loose, causing damage to your car. Show me what the expense is and I will take care of it. There is absolutely nothing, sir, that you can say that would be intelligent that would change my mind. But if you wish to say something, I am going to give you an opportunity.
After that, ma'am, no.
Very good. Did you have the car fixed yet?
No, ma'am.
Well, you go and have it fixed.
Yes.
And I hope that he has homeowner's insurance because maybe his homeowner's insurance will take care of it. If not, he's going to pay you $1,495.72. Judgment for the plaintiff. That's all. Thank you. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I still think this gentleman overreacted for my dog.
It might have been an accident, but it's not the first time.
He's just a pup.
It's been about 3 or 4 times he's gotten loose.
He's not vicious by any means. I just think he overreacted.
Held her at bay inside my garage.
Actually, I think he was going across the...
19-year-old homemaker Misty Hamilton for the return of money she paid for a car and for masterminding a violent assault.
Your Honor, this is case number 218 on the calendar in the matter of Lewis versus Hamilton. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, gentlemen. Have seats.
Miss Lewis, your complaint indicates that you purchased a used car from the defendant. You purchased it from her for $2,000 with the understanding that she would give the title to you because she'd had some trouble with motor vehicles and getting the car titled, or she didn't have the title. She was going to get you the title. You gave her the $2,000 and she gave you the car. Your complaint is really twofold. She repossessed the car, but before she took it back, she tried to have another relative of hers steal it back, and that person is now incarcerated for carjacking. Is that right? Ms. Hamilton says she didn't know anything about this carjacking business, but that you didn't agree to buy the car for $2,000. The $2,000 was merely a down payment, and she sold you the car for $5,000. Is that right?
Yes.
And you didn't make the rest of the payments?
No, she did not.
How did you know her?
She's been a family friend for about 8 years now.
And when did you find out about this car?
The night before she was, well, I knew about the car before, but she had someone buying the car from her previous to her going to Mexico. And
So she was planning to leave the country?
To go to Mexico. And she asked me the night before she left, they had their other car already packed and ready to go, and the person that was buying the car backed out from it.
What date was that?
That was on the 7th of December.
What date did you leave for Mexico?
I left the 7th of December.
Okay. And is that the day that you made the arrangements with Miss Lewis to purchase the car?
No, it's not.
When did you make the arrangements with Miss Lewis to purchase the car?
The 6th of December.
Okay. How come you didn't make plans before to sell the second car that you didn't need? Is not an answer. Just give me the truthful answer. Is she correct that you had another purchaser that backed out?
Yes.
Let me explain something. Don't try to think ahead of me. You're not going to be successful. Okay. So on the 7th, you gave her the $2,000. Where did you get the $2,000 from?
It was actually my money, but it was in my father's account.
Who was this?
My father-in-law.
Then what happened?
Well, the original agreement, I would like to clarify this, was she was selling the car originally to the first buyer for $3,800. Well, she came at me needing the money to go to Mexico, the $2,000. So I said I'd give her the $2,000, and then there was a discussion about payments for. She was asking for the $3,800, but she was so desperate to get the money to be able to leave for Mexico, she just wanted the $2,000 then, and we would discuss payments later.
So it was an open-ended amount? Is that what you're telling me?
Well, it wasn't the $3,800. It was.
Look at me. Try looking down there. Look at me.
I was looking at me. It wasn't the $3,800. It was the mechanical expenses. She knew that I didn't have a job at the time, that I couldn't make any payments. I was actually on Social Security because of my knee. And so she knew I didn't have a job. She said she wasn't worried about payments. All she wanted was the $2,000 to get to Mexico at that point.
When did she come back from Mexico?
I believe she didn't get back until the end of January. I couldn't tell you exactly what date.
What happened in January?
Nothing really happened in January except for when they came back. I guess her husband had problems getting over the border. I guess, from my understanding, hearsay that he's not a U.S. citizen, and that they had to pay extra money getting him across the border. Well, they needed the money desperately, and they wanted money from me, and they were. She was actually nice when I talked to her about it, but he actually demanded it from me, and I said no.
What did he say?
He said that he needed the money now.
How much did he say?
He said he needed, at that point, he said he needed $5,000. At that point, he said he needed $3,000 more on top of it, which was never.
Do we have a husband here?
No, he's in prison.
For what?
I'm not too sure. He got in a car wreck in California and got in
So
trouble.
the husband at that point told you that he needed another $3,000?
Yes, this was actually going into February at that point. It was.
And you said?
I said, no, that wasn't the deal. I let my fiance, Eli, he talked to him and discussed it with him.
Was this conversation that you had with him over the phone or in person?
It was in person. I went to his house to talk to him because I wanted to clear things up as far as the agreement that I had made with Misty.
When was the car carjacked?
On February 26th. It was attempted. I actually hit him to the point that he was sidetracked enough for a guy to pull him out of my vehicle.
Who's the him?
Which is her cousin.
He related to you?
Yes, he's my cousin.
You think it's coincidental that he's in jail now for attempted carjacking?
Actually, I had no idea that he did that. I didn't find out until the next day that he did that.
Well, who do you think put him up to it?
I think he put himself up to it. He thought if I got the car back that I would sell it to him. So he did that on his own.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Lewis says former friend Misty Hamilton took back her car. Michelle also says Misty arranged for her to be carjacked.
You have any proof that she had anything to do with this attempted carjacking?
The DA that's picked up this case is taking quite a big interest in the fact.
So that case hasn't gone forward yet?
They've actually postponed it.
Then I'm not hearing that part of your claim.
Mm-hmm.
When did she take the car back from you?
On March 8th.
Where is the car now?
I traded the car for another car.
What did you do with her $2,000?
I didn't do anything. I never received the money. My husband received the money.
Is that true?
The checks were made out to her father, which were Western Union to her in California at
How do
her
I know that?
grandmother's. I have the receipts right here.
That she signed for them?
No, I don't have the Western Union receipts. I gave Randy the money, and I drove him to Western Union, but
Who's
I didn't.
Randy?
Her father.
Father?
Yes.
Step up. Who did you send the money to?
Edgar Hernandez, her husband.
Her husband?
Yes.
Why didn't you send it to your daughter?
Because it wasn't her money. It was Edgar's.
What do you mean it was Edgar's?
Yes.
I said, what do you mean it was Edgar's?
Well, that's who the car originally belonged to. So I sent it to him in Mexico.
Ma'am.
Show me.
I have a police report where she tried doing this. She actually did this to somebody in November that I later found out about. She got money from him and took the car back on a stolen vehicle.
This car?
This car. I found this out later on January 26th, actually. I went to the Springfield Police Department.
All I have to do is ask you this question. I really don't even have to go there. I'm just sort of curious about what kind of people I'm dealing with. Now, I understand. I don't even have to look at this. You knew that she had given your husband $2,000. Is that correct?
Yes.
For this car. Is that correct?
Yes.
And it was taken back by whom?
It was taken back by me.
Okay. It was taken back by you. Why?
Because we had made an agreement before I left to Mexico.
Let me hear.
For which $2,000 down. Total price we wanted was $5,000.
You are lying, madam. You want to know why you're lying? Do you know what this is?
No, I don't.
That's a blue book. Your car isn't worth $5,000.
Okay, but that's what we were asking for the car.
You're lying. You're a liar. And if you continue to say it again, I'm going to show you how I know you're a liar. I'm going to read this, which I wasn't going to before. So let's figure out. You've got a husband who's in jail. You've got a cousin who's in jail. You were going to sell your closest friend at the last minute. At the last minute, when your previous buyer backed out for $3,800, you were going to sell the car to her for $1,200 more. That's what you want me to believe, right?
I don't get $1,200 more.
38 and 12 is how much?
$5,000.
Right. So you were going to sell it to somebody else for $3,800. They backed out. So you're going to sell it to your close friend for $1,200 more than you were going to sell it to a stranger for. Do you understand, or was that too quick for you?
No, it wasn't.
Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
And is that what you want me to believe?
I'm just telling you to choose, Your Honor.
No, you're not. When you lie and you get caught, you get humiliated. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Now, if you said to me, I told her I would sell it to her for the same price as I was selling it to the other person, $3,800. She didn't pay it, so I took the car back. I could buy that. But when you lie and say I was selling it for more than you could get from any other normal human being, and she's your friend, that says to me you're a liar. And I'm not so sure that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, because when he says he sent the money to Edgar, I'm not sure I believe that either. Because why would he send the money to Edgar? It seems to me this car has been bought and sold often. Very often. Now, if you want to repossess the car, take it back, for whatever reason, and you traded it in and bought yourself another car. Is that right?
Exactly.
So you used, Ms. Hamilton, the money that she paid for the car to enrich you, not Edgar. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You can't do that. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,000. That's all. Get him out of here.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Wow. I was asked for more money than what I had agreed to because of their negative lifestyle.
The whole idea was $5,000. That was to anybody who wanted to buy the car.
We see each other, but we don't really talk.
I told the truth, and the judge didn't want to hear it. She wanted to accuse me of being a liar when all I was doing was telling the truth.
There was no peaceful resolution to it. I tried.
And now 20-year-old Melissa Norrie is suing her boyfriend's former friend, 20-year-old mover Ben Hathaway, for stealing her car and wrecking it. Ben claims Melissa gave him permission to drive.
Quiet in the courtroom, please. Hello. Okay. Your Honor, this is case number 188 on the calendar in the matter of Norrie versus Hathaway. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat.
All right, Miss Norrie, you owned a car.
Yes, I did.
Do you still own it?
No, I don't.
You allowed your boyfriend to drive the car.
Yes, I did.
Your boyfriend's name is Shane.
Yes.
According to what I've read here. And this would be Shane.
Yes, Your Honor.
Shane and the defendant went for a ride. The defendant somehow, after Shane went to sleep or whatever, went to a party and he wasn't in the shape to go home, the defendant decided to take the car, according to you, without Shane's permission and drive home.
Yes, Your Honor.
He wrecked the car.
Yes, he did.
And you want him to pay for the car.
Yes, I do.
Mr. Hathaway says, it's not my fault.
Correct, Your Honor.
All right. Now, Mr. Hathaway is going to explain, not only to me, but he is going to explain to Officer Petrie Hawkinsbird how someone who was the sole driver of a car who wrecked it can establish to our satisfaction that it was somebody else's fault.
Okay.
Okay? Is that fair?
That's fair, Your Honor.
Very good. Step up here, Shane. Now, you borrowed the plaintiff's car when?
January 16th.
And what did you borrow the car for?
To go to Bridgewater State College. We went up there to visit a friend.
Did you have a driver's license?
Yes, I do.
Did you?
Oh, did
On
I?
January 16th, 2003, have a driver's license?
No, I didn't.
How did you expect to drive her car without a driver's license, Shane?
Ben was driving the car there to the college. And then...
When you borrowed the car from your girlfriend, did you tell her that Mr. Hathaway was going to be driving the car?
No, I did not tell her that.
Were you going to be back that evening?
No, the next morning.
Who did you tell her was going to be driving the car?
Actually, I didn't tell her anything. She just knew Ben was going to be driving the car.
Is that right?
Yes, I knew he didn't have a license.
So you knew that Ben was going to be the driver?
Yes, I did.
All interesting things that they left out of the complaint, by the way. So you gave permission for Ben to drive your car with Shane as the passenger?
Yes, I did.
So what happened, Shane?
Well, we both went to Bridgewater State College that night. We went to a party. We were drinking and stuff like that. And he asked me, he goes, can I use your car? And I said, no way. And then he took my keys and he took off with my car, and I ran out to get him, but he took off right in front of me in the parking lot. And then I waited in the parking lot thinking he was joking around. But 20 minutes later, he never came back.
Where did he say he wanted to go with the car?
To go pick up my friend Rob.
I mean, you asked that with a question in your voice.
To pick up my friend Rob.
This is not sounding true to me, Shane.
He said he wanted...
Bird, you see Bird is shaking his head?
Yeah.
You see Bird is shaking his head? We together are like a truth machine. Okay. You know what happens when somebody is piddling on my leg? The hairs on the back of my neck start to stand up. So I can always tell when someone is making it up as they're going.
Okay.
Because the hair on the back of my neck goes up, and I'm watching the hair on the back of his neck.
All right.
Do you understand, Shane? So we're going to start again.
Okay.
You're at a party.
Yes.
Doing some drinking.
Yes.
And
we come back to the dorm room where we were going to sleep at.
And you fell asleep.
No, I didn't fall asleep.
Did you get into bed?
No.
Did you fall into bed?
No.
You were standing at the window?
No, we were in the room just talking and stuff like that. Okay? And then he took my keys, and he started going down the stairs. He said he was going to leave, and I chased him, and he went inside my car. And then I was like, Ben, get out of my car. And he took off right in front of me.
So what was going to pick up a friend, Rob?
He promised my friend Rob, who lives in Providence College, I don't know, an hour away or something like that. He promised he was going to go get him that night because he talked to him.
But he didn't say anything to you about going to pick up Rob
Yes,
when
he
he took
did.
the keys?
He said, I want to go pick up Rob, and I said, no.
Let's have it.
All right. Well, Your Honor, I was asked to drive the
Nicholson
car.
did that. You remember when Jack Nicholson did that? I loved when he did that.
All right. Eye contact. Well, I was asked to drive the car, so we went up there like was said before. The plan was for us to come home that night. So we went out, we went to a party, and when it was time to go home, that wasn't the case anymore. He didn't want to go home, and I started arguing with him saying, you know, I was the one who drove up here, and right now I'm the one who's driving the car, and you promised me I could go home, therefore
I'm going home.
I want to go home. And when that didn't come to an agreement, I said, you know what, I am going home. And I jumped in the car, and he said, come on, man, I don't want to leave. Let's stay here. It's the better thing to do. It's late. I said, no, I want to go home. And so I jumped in the car.
Had you been drinking, Mr. Hathaway?
I had been drinking earlier that night, and by the time it was time to go, I felt that I was sober enough to drive the car home.
Not sober enough, evidently, Mr. Hathaway. Because what happened on the way home, sir?
Well, that's also because, Your Honor, not only was it late at night, but as you can see, it was in January, and snow was covering on the ground, and therefore I made it slippery while driving. And
whose fault is that? God's fault? The weatherman's fault?
I guess so, Your Honor.
Yes. Why don't you tell me how the accident happened, Mr. Hathaway?
Well, I was driving along, and I was coming home down Route 1. Sorry, eye contact. All right, I was coming down Route 1, and I was on the side of the road, and I just hit an ice patch, hit, black ice, whatever it may have been, and slid off into the guardrail, and the car crashed. I got it to drive a little bit farther down the road so I could make it to somewhere where I could stop and park, and then I called my mother, and she came and picked me up at the location that I was at.
Maybe that's why he wanted to stay over, because you both had a little something to drink. The weather was bad, it was snowy, it was slippery, it was icy. So that was better judgment, right, Mr. Hathaway?
Well, that was his judgment, but the judgment...
Evidently better judgment because you wrecked the car.
Yeah, but I don't believe that was the reason for the wrecking
Well,
of the
then
car.
tell me what you think the reason was, sir. You just told me it was January and it was slippery and sliding
and
outside.
that's what I'm saying. There was ice on the ground, and that's what caused the crash. It had nothing to do with me being drunk or anything like that.
You love it, huh? What? You love it? Mr. Hathaway, do you know why Officer Petrie Hawkinsbird is laughing? And he usually doesn't do that. He usually doesn't have as good a time as he's having right now. He's laughing because you sound like a fool.
Yeah.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You thought that your...
Melissa Norrie claims her boyfriend's former friend, Ben Hathaway, stole her car and wrecked it. Ben claims Melissa loaned him the car.
Now, what kind of car was this, Miss Norrie?
It was a Saab, 1992.
And it was totaled?
Yes, it was. I have the paper stating it was totaled, and I have how much it's worth, and I also have the pictures.
Pictures?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see what the Blue Book value of the car is. 4-cylinder?
Yes.
4-cylinder is worth $1,750. Your car had 300,000 miles on it.
Yes, or 280 something.
All right. Mr. Hathaway.
Yes, Your Honor.
You exercised poor judgment, sir. You drove the car, you had an accident. You had an accident, you had been drinking. You were told by the person who really had borrowed the car, even though you were driving, that they didn't want you to drive home. So, at that point, you shouldn't have driven home. You did drive home. You had an accident. It's your fault. You have to compensate the plaintiff for that. Do you understand?
Somewhat, Your Honor. I just don't get that there was an agreement to to drive home, and you're already saying that I was under the influence, and I had said
I didn't say you were under the influence, sir. I said that you had been drinking earlier that evening.
Exactly.
And you said that by the time you were ready to go home, you thought
Correct.
that your judgment was sufficiently intact to make the drive home.
Exactly.
The proof of the pudding, sir, is in the tasting. You totaled her car. Who's responsible? Her?
I guess no. I don't know.
I
Nobody.
guess not. No, not nobody. Not nobody. Somebody is responsible. And since you were the one who was driving, and you were the one who elected to drive in bad weather on an evening when you had been partying, you are responsible. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He apologized a few times, and he said that he was going to go through his insurance company and he was going to pay us right away.
It was tough to do that, and I apologized, and I wanted to take care of it in the best way I could.
It's not something you should do to your friend, really. You know what I mean? I told him not to take it, and he took it.
It was kind of tough, but I mean, it's hard to, to lose a friend.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Robinson versus Hill. Step forward, please.
Legal Secretary Carol Robinson is suing her son, Auto Shop District Manager Joseph Hill, for a series of unpaid loans. Joseph says the money was a gift.
Miss Robinson, Mr. Hill is your son.
Yes, ma'am.
And it is your claim that while separated from his wife, he accrued a series of loans from you to pay his bills, other expenses, including child support. Your son says that there was never an agreement that the money that you did, in fact, advance him to pay his bills was a loan, that you agreed to help him out, and that you're only angry because he went back to his wife. Is that what you're saying, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
How old are you?
28.
How many years have you been married?
A little over 3 years.
You have children?
Yes, ma'am, one son.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm a district manager for an auto mechanic shop.
And how long have you been doing that?
For about 3 years.
Now, I want you to tell me about what happened after you and your wife separated.
Well, when we separated, we were both working. We were both working, so there were a little more bills than my income could pay for. My mother was there to help me out.
Just a second. Specifically, I want you to tell me what you did. You separated from your wife. Where did you go?
I stayed in the family home. My wife left.
And when did she leave? What month, what year?
May of this year.
Where did she go?
She went to her grandparents' house.
With your child?
Yes, ma'am.
Leaving you in the house. Now, is this a rental house or is this something?
It's a rental house, yes, ma'am.
And what's the rent?
$850 a month.
And how much were you earning at the time, sir?
I earn about $1,440 every 2 weeks is my gross income.
Now, tell me about this conversation that you had with your mother when she started to help you.
She agreed that she would help me to where
Tell me about the conversation. Now, I'll decide whether she agreed to help you. Okay, tell me about the conversation.
Well, it came to the point where we were discussing the finances at my house. She had told me that she would help me to take care of my bills, to bring my bills to her, bring her my paychecks every 2 weeks, and she would pay my bills. She did make a loan to me at one point in time for an attorney, which has already been settled and taken care of between me and her.
How much was that?
$2,500.
Is that right?
That is correct.
And he paid you back?
Not yet.
We have a settlement agreement to pay that back.
Settlement agreement from where?
That she wrote up and I signed that I would pay it back over the course of the next however many months at $100 a month.
When did you do that?
Roughly about 3 weeks ago.
Do you have a copy of that?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to see it, please. Oh, so she had sued you for this?
Yes, ma'am.
But your lawyer was only $2,500.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right? So why did you agree to pay her on $4,425?
There was past issues of finances where she had loaned me money to pay off a probation officer that I also agree that I do owe her.
How much was the probation officer?
$1,900.
Okay. Now tell me about this other money that she says she laid out for you for other bills, and it's clear, you agree, Miss Robinson, am I correct, that he was turning over his paycheck to you?
Yes, ma'am.
And you were paying the bills?
Yes, ma'am.
You were paying his rent?
Yes, ma'am.
You were paying child support?
Yes, ma'am.
How much child support?
I believe there were 3 payments that I made in the amount of $280 plus a $5 charge for the cashier's check. And there were past due bills that were his and his wife's.
What about the $1,440 he gave you biweekly? What'd you do with that?
It was not $1,440. His net pay is $1,023.07 every other week.
Is that right?
That's roughly.
Okay, so that's $2,000 a month. That's plenty of money to pay his rent. Plenty of money to pay last 2 payments of child support. Where's that money?
The cell phone bill was quite large every month.
Well, tell me what the cell phone bill was.
There were 3 months that I paid, $419.15.
Just a second. What was one cell phone for $400 a month?
I'm a district manager. I have 10 stores that I have to stay in touch with on a regular basis throughout the day.
Well, then your company pays for that.
They reimburse a small portion.
Then you take care of that. Then you give that back to your mom. We're paying legitimate expenses for which you do not get reimbursed. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And when you took his paycheck, and you took his paycheck since June?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right? Did you tell him each month when he went over what he had given you?
Yes, ma'am. I showed him the check register and how low my funds, my own personal funds, were getting. And he says, don't worry, Mom. He says, I'll pay it all back.
He already owed you $4,400, Miss Robinson. Some of it he owed you for more than a year. How could you legitimately believe that your son was going to pay you back for all this stuff when he hadn't even paid you back money that he owed you for a year and a half? How did you legitimately believe? I'm asking your legitimate expectation that your son was going to have more money to pay you back when he hadn't fulfilled what you claim, and in a settlement, you say were obligations that existed almost 2 years. Come on, let's be real. When did you stop giving your mother your salary check?
Beginning to mid-July.
So that's June and half of July. That's a month and a half, and it is your claim, madam, I'm just curious, it's your claim that in the month and a half you laid out for him, for which you were not reimbursed by his salary checks, $4,313.50. Is that right?
That is correct.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you. And I don't believe that you had a legitimate expectation in that month and a half that he was going to be able to pay you back. If, in fact, you laid that out for him, I don't believe that. I believe that you said, I'll help you out, I'll pay your bills, give me your salary, I'll try to act as your accountant and make sure that all of these bills are paid and in some organized fashion. Was it your wife who was responsible for paying the bills in your house, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
So you didn't know how to do that?
Not very good with money.
No, okay. So you gave, instead of giving your wife the money, you gave your mother the money?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that what happened?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you shouldn't have done it, Miss Robinson. He's your son. That's what you're supposed to do. Your case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
It was a very sad situation. It's one that's disrupted our entire family.
She doesn't like my wife. When me and her decided to try to work things out civilly between us, whether we get back together or not, that's when she went in a rampage.
I was very upset.
I just think it's a shame that she's had to ruin the whole family and bring it like this.
I don't imagine he's going to let me see my grandchild anymore.
I've been told that as far as I'm concerned with the family, I'm now dead.
He does know that I love him. I just don't like him.
About.
Now, this is case number 441 on the calendar in the matter of Parker versus Rose. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Have seats.
Mr. Parker, it is your claim that the defendant stole a cell phone that you had given to one of your sons to take around with him on Halloween. You gave him the cell phone in order to keep in touch with you in case of emergency. It is your claim that Miss Rose took the cell phone away from him, really stole it from him.
Yes,
and you're suing her for the cost of the cell phone. I'm going to try to paraphrase what her answer is. Her answer is, you're some kind of nut. Why would she take a cell phone from a child? Is that pretty much it? Okay. So you gave him a cell phone, told him to use it for emergencies.
Yes.
Right? And he went out with his 3 brothers.
3 other brothers, yes.
And he came back and he didn't have the cell phone.
No.
So I want you to tell me quickly what he said to you.
I went to the house and said, Dad, this lady, we didn't know who she was, a couple blocks over, took the cell phone, told him, you must have stole this phone. Your dad did not buy your phone of this nature, and took it from him.
Now, which child told that to you?
Henry.
Where's Henry?
Right there.
Step up here. Okay, Henry. You were out on Halloween. You were out with your 3 brothers. Are your brothers older or younger?
Older, Your Honor.
Who is this?
My brother Patrick, Your Honor.
How old is he?
10, Your Honor.
How old are you?
11, Your Honor.
Was he with you that night?
Yes, Your Honor.
I thought the brothers that were with you were all older than you were.
No, Your Honor. Not him.
So there were 2 that were older. How old were the 2 that were older?
12, Your Honor.
Twins?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So tell me what happened with the cell phone.
We went to our house and we knocked on the door, Your Honor, and we said trick or treat. And then I was acting like I was talking on my cell phone. And then she said, where'd you get that cell phone? Did you steal it? And I said, no, I got it with this outfit. And then...
You got it with the outfit?
Mm-hmm.
What did you mean you got it with the outfit?
I was a pimp for Halloween.
Is that a costume that you bought or something that you made with the things that you had in your house?
I had a suit, Your Honor.
A suit and a cell phone. And whose idea was it for you to be a pimp for Halloween?
Red, Your Honor.
Who's Red?
My friend.
Did you discuss that with your father?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you thought that was a good idea too?
Yes, Your Honor.
It's what he wanted, Your Honor, so I let him do it.
Want.
It was more of a
Something-
business.
All right, good.
It was more
Fine.
of a business look.
Fine. It wouldn't be something that I would encourage. That's up to you if you wanted to encourage that. So your father gave you the cell phone not to keep in touch in case of an emergency, but he gave you the cell phone because it was part of the costume. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
You see, you got to tell the truth right away, sir. You didn't give him the cell phone to keep in touch for an emergency. You gave it to him because it was part of the costume that you were helping him create. Okay. So after you told the lady that it was part of your costume, what did she say to you?
She said, Your Honor, you stole it from somewhere. You wasn't allowed to have a cell phone at that age.
And she took it away?
Uh-huh.
And then where did you go? From her house, where did you go?
Trick-or-treating around the block, and then I went...
So you went to other places?
Mm-hmm.
How many other places did you go to?
About like 5.
Were you upset when she took your cell phone?
Not much, Your Honor.
What about your 12-year-old twin brothers? Were they upset?
No, Your Honor.
Nobody was upset. Okay. What happened when you got home?
I went to my dad's room and told him that she took my cell phone, and then we went to her house, but she didn't give it back. She said no.
Did you go to her house?
Yes, Your Honor, we did.
What happened when you went to her house?
I went to her house. I said, my son said you took our cell phone. She said, well, I don't know what I did with it now. Here, take my number, my name. I did not know this lady at that time.
Okay, did she give you her name and number?
Yes, she did.
Can I see it, please? Is this what she wrote it on?
Yes, that's all right.
What's on the back of this?
That's a lot of scribble I wrote down.
But the front is what she wrote
Yes.
down. Her number, her telephone number.
Yes, and her name.
And her name. And she never called you.
No, I called her back the next day. She wouldn't accept my calls. Tried another day. Her son said she was busy. Third day, I finally reached her. She cussed me out, called us, just said I was disturbing her. If I disturbed her again, she'd report me for harassing her.
All right, Miss Rose. Let me hear your version of the events, please.
Halloween night, the kids were having some friends over to have trick-or-treat and have some fun. And so the kids ended up being in and out of the house. And so all of a sudden, these boys was in my house, eating at my table. And I just know they was neighborhood boys, and they were not friends of my kids. And anyway, apparently they was invited by my oldest son, Nathan, which he said he was over at a house down the street with a garage where they fixed it all up into a haunted place. And he said, oh, if you really want to see a haunted house, come to our house. And so apparently they was all ended up in my house. I kind of came out of the kitchen and saw these kids, these boys, eating at my table.
I heard the eating at the table before.
I'm
Would you
sorry.
get to the cell phone, please?
Okay, well, the kids left, and then he came back a second time. And this is where I heard the yelling in the living room. I was busy passing out candy, and it was a nice night out. So
Would you get to the cell phone?
Okay. Natalie, go ahead and stand up, sweetie. Okay.
Well, he came into the living room, and I came out of my mother's room because me and my friend Lindsay were in there just doing whatever. And we
Could you
came
get
out.
to the cell phone?
Yeah. We came out, and he was in there telling me that I went up to him and stole his cell phone out of his pocket. That's what this Henry was telling me.
Did you ever speak to her?
No, Your Honor.
Did you ever accuse her of taking your cell phone?
No, Your Honor.
Did this lady take your cell phone?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did she take your cell phone exactly the way you said she took your cell phone?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you sure?
Yes, Your Honor.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You wrote this, Henry.
Rosemary Rose stole a cell phone from his son on Halloween. Edward says his son was dressed as a pimp, and the phone was part of his costume.
You didn't lose the cell phone, did you?
No, Your Honor.
You sure about that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. What's your name?
Patrick.
Sit down. Step up here. As a matter of fact, come up here. What's your name?
Patrick.
Patrick, I have a couple of questions for you. Do you remember going to this lady's house for Halloween?
Yes,
Look at
Your
me.
Honor.
Look at me. And were you in the house at all?
Yes, Your Honor.
Were you eating in the house and fooling around in the house and having a good time?
Yes, Your Honor.
After you left the house, did you speak to your brother Henry?
Yes, Your Honor.
When for the first time did Henry tell you that his cell phone was missing?
When she first took it.
Tell me about that. Were you there?
Yes.
Where were you when she took the cell phone?
At the snack bar.
In her house?
Yes, Your Honor.
And who else was there?
My two brothers.
Tell me exactly what happened at the snack bar.
We were in there, and he was pretending he was talking on his cell phone, and then she thought he stole that from somewhere, and he took it.
And after she took the cell phone, you left the house?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you leave right away?
My brother got a cupcake, and then we left, Your Honor.
Which brother got a cupcake?
My brother Henry.
And when you left, didn't you think you should go home and tell your father right away that the cell phone had been taken?
Yes, Your Honor.
So why did you go to other places for trick-or-treating?
I don't know.
Was Henry upset?
No, Your Honor.
Were your twin brothers upset about
No,
the
Your
cell
Honor.
phone? They weren't. Why do you think that was, Patrick? I mean, somebody had just taken some of your property, and nobody was upset about it?
No, Your Honor.
And you sure it happened just that way, Patrick?
Yes, Your Honor.
Didn't happen that your brother Henry dropped the cell phone?
No, Your Honor.
Or that left it there by mistake?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, sit down, Patrick. Okay. When Mr. Parker came to your house, you gave him your name and your phone number. Tell me why.
We exchanged numbers, and this is what the boy Henry wrote down as his phone number. And I told him if I run across the phone, I would call him. And also, these are receipts of my own cell phone and my daughter's cell phone, receipts. We do not need to steal anyone's cell phone, Your Honor. We have our own. We're not thieves.
Shh. Is this a phone number that sounds familiar to you, sir? 529.
That's my home number.
Henry, did you write this number down?
No, Your Honor.
You didn't.
No, Your Honor.
You know what I would like, Bird? I would like Henry to stand up right there. And I'm going to tell him what to write. I want you to write the following, Henry. Take the pen. I want you to write Henry. Print it. Okay, I want you to write the following numbers. 529. And I want you to write the words cell phone. Can I have that, please? You wrote this, Henry. So you told me a fib. Why did you fib to me?
I didn't write that phone number.
Yes, you did. I'm looking at what you wrote, and I'm looking at this, and that was written by the same person. How do you explain that?
I didn't write the phone number, Your Honor.
If you don't remember, then just say you don't remember, don't feel.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
When you went to Miss Rose's house, she said to you, I will look for the cell phone. Is that right?
Well, that wasn't the exact words.
What did she
The
say?
exact words was, I don't know where I put it. She said, well, I thought he stole it. That's still none of her business.
Did you say that to Mr. Parker?
No, ma'am, I did not.
Okay. Mr. Parker, I have a problem.
Okay.
My problem is there's a little bit to this story that I'm not getting.
I understand.
One of the things I'm not getting is I don't understand the costume.
Okay.
I think the costume is ridiculous.
I disagree with it, but
The costume is ridiculous. For a father to encourage that kind of costume
I
is
disagree
ridiculous.
with it. It was more than a business suit. That's pretty much, he can call it what he wants, but
I know,
that's
I
pretty
understand
much
that,
what
but
it was.
that was his perception of
Yes,
what he was going
and
for.
I tried to.
And I wouldn't have encouraged it
I
by
did
giving
not.
him the cell phone to go along with the
That was
costume.
for the mercies.
Listen to me, that's not true, Mr. Parker, because
Yes.
that's not what your son says. Your son said the cell phone was part of his pimp costume.
Well, that's what he
he
felt.
said.
Okay,
That's why he
that's what
said
he
he
felt.
wanted it. But then what I don't understand is if, in fact, somebody stole property that
Yes.
your sons knew was valuable property, a
Yes.
cell phone, the first thing they would have done was to run home. And not only didn't Henry run home, but your other 3 sons didn't run home and say, listen, this is what happened. This lady stole a cell phone for no reason. She took the cell phone and said, we stole it. Something doesn't sound right. It also doesn't sound right to me that this lady would take a cell phone from a child and say, you probably stole it, here it is. I mean, even after she took the cell phone, according to Patrick, he went and took a cupcake before he left.
Yes. I agree.
Right?
I agree.
Wasn't so aggravated.
I agree.
Mr. Parker, what sounds to me like is more than logical, but I can't, say for sure, is that they were playing around. He wasn't holding on to the cell phone all the time because he was eating. Maybe he put it down someplace. He accused her of taking it out of his bag, and then he said, we got to come up with something because I'm going to get my tail handed to me. And then when you went to her house, she said to you, here's my number, I'll look around for it, and if I find it, I'll give it to you. In any event, I'm not sure what happened. Because there's a piece here that I'm missing, that only Henry here can fill in, and he doesn't seem to be willing to do that because he doesn't even want to admit that he wrote his name and telephone number down here.
Well, Your Honor.
Unfortunately, Mr. Parker, this is a court, and I can't make a judgment in your favor based upon the information that I have, so your case is dismissed. That's all.
The parties are excused. You may step out.
Thank you.
I don't doubt my sons.
He called me white trash and a thief.
Get away from her. She's crazy and leave her alone.
He was ready to just, he was walking towards me as though he could just clobber me good.
She's a liar, and she's mentally disturbed.
Tell the truth, your side of the story, and they'll get caught in the lie.
And Kimberly Kulik is suing her ex-boyfriend, 19-year-old home theater installer Gary Collier, for slander. Kimberly claims Gary posted disparaging statements about her on the internet.
Yeah, this is case number 388 on the calendar in the matter of Kulik versus Collier. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Mr. Collier, before we get started here today, sir, have you watched my courtroom before?
Yes, ma'am.
So you have some indication as to what one might expect if one didn't tell me the truth.
Yes, ma'am.
You know that there would be nothing worse that could happen to you, right?
Yes.
So, Ms. Kulik, let me tell you what I gather this case is about. You and the defendant dated briefly, didn't work out, you broke up. And it is your claim that Mr. Collier posted a rather lewd, untrue, slanderous statement about you on the internet.
Yes, with my full name and cell phone number.
So I'd like to see what it is that you claim he put on the internet.
He spelled white wrong. Shh. Sorry.
Could I see that, please? Your Honor, this is not mine. I did not write this.
What did you write?
I didn't write anything. Nothing in the matter of that.
It's pretty disgusting.
It is. It is.
Pretty
It's very
disgusting. So what makes you think that he wrote it?
Because it was posted on his screen name. We had argued, and then at about 10 o'clock I checked his screen name. The away message is like what you're doing. It tells people what you're doing, and anybody on the internet can see this. So I clicked on his name, and this is what it was. And my witness, I was like, come look at this, and I was like, go check it from your computer, see if you can see it too. And she checked it. I called another one of my friends, and I was like, can you check this? Like, I was freaking out.
Your Honor, if that's a away message, it should say vibrations received. If she's claiming it's an away message.
Don't speak.
Sorry.
She's claiming it's an away message.
I don't know what that is. Do you know what an away message is?
Not really.
Well, on AOL, you have...
We don't use a computer a lot.
Well, I do. I don't know what he's talking about.
You do, and you don't know what an away message is.
What it is?
Well, I don't use a computer at all, so why don't you explain it to me?
Okay, away message, you're away from your computer, just letting people know that you're away, and it has in quotations.
Well, that sounds right.
Okay, I got that. Yeah.
Okay, it would be like saying most people would post an away message and say, I've gone to the store to buy a quart of milk. be back in an hour. It's like putting a sign out in your front door, or a store putting, be back in 15 minutes. That's an away message.
Yeah.
That sounds very logical. I learned something. Go ahead. If
Okay.
it was an away message.
After my screen name, it should have, it should say away message or auto response. And that piece of paper
Well,
doesn't
what if
say
it
that.
doesn't say that?
It's fake. Obviously, I didn't write that.
Okay. Tell me your name.
Delise Schilstadt.
You're a friend of hers.
I'm her roommate, yes.
Tell me the date when you saw this message posted.
Ooh, I think it was I don't even know when it was. The 8th, I believe?
The 8th of November.
I'm fairly certain that's when it was.
Okay, good. And you were both home?
Yes.
Tell me what happened.
She had asked me to check his away message, so I had looked at it, and that's exactly what it had said. In response to what he's saying that it has to say auto response on it, you can just click on the actual screen and print it out, and it won't say auto response. So that's probably why it looks like that.
Miss Kulik, were you dating anyone else at the time?
No. No, absolutely not.
Okay. You say that you had been arguing with the defendant. What had you been arguing with him about?
We always argue. That's why we broke up. I can't even tell you. It was just nonsense, just back and forth.
On that Sunday, did you call him or did he call you?
He called me.
She called me. She called me quite a few times.
What time did she call you in the morning?
It's sometime after 5 o'clock.
In the evening?
In the evening.
Had you seen her that day?
No.
Seen her the day before?
No.
You were already broken up?
Yes, I'm trying to get away from her.
Just a minute. So tell me about the conversation.
And pretty much I wanted to get away from her, so I told her I had cheated on her, thinking that she would not like me.
She calls you 5 o'clock, and she says, hello, what's your first name?
Gary.
Hello, Gary? It's me. And you say?
I cheated on you. It's just
You
pretty
just-
much, no, not straight up. I told her.
I want you to think about the day. Not talking about something that happened 5 years ago.
There's so many fights that we've had.
I want to know about this one.
She called me up.
Look at me.
She called me up. She kept talking to me. I just asked her to leave me alone. All right. I constantly tell her to leave me alone because I do not want to be a part of her. Like I told her I cheated on her when I went down to Stockton, and I told her I cheated on her with another girl, and she started going crazy. She just yells at me. She started crying and getting upset. I hung up on her. She had called me back, and I just kept asking her, please leave me alone. And she would not. She just kept calling me.
How many times did she call you?
3 times.
Each time got more irritating to you?
Yes.
What did she say to you the last time?
I hung up. She started saying something on the phone, and I was like, I don't like dealing with little girls, and I hung up the phone.
I don't like dealing with little girls. Is that what you said?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh. Gary! I'm not going to read this whole disgusting away message. But it's sort of interesting because in this little away message it talks about Kim Kulik, ... is a little girl. That's an odd choice of words for you to say,
I've
Gary.
called her little girl many times
Gary,
before.
that's an odd choice of words for you to say.
Because she's a very smart girl. She's
Just a second. Are you suggesting to me that Miss Kulik posted this filth on the internet
She didn't
about
post it.
herself?
I don't believe she didn't post it. She could have printed it out. She's a good con artist. She knows. She's starting to be a lawyer. So she knows how to get me.
Judd ex-boyfriend Gary Collier slandered her on the internet.
Bert, would you do me a favor?
Sure.
Would you see what papers he has over there?
Want the picture too?
Yeah, I'd just take a look and see what you got.
That's the picture in the beginning of the relationship where she went crazy and told everybody, oh my God, this kid's so hot, we're going out.
Yeah, because I liked you, and then you proved you're immature.
Whatever.
Did you hand this to him? Bert, and give him a pen. You have a pen with you? Good, give him a pen. We're going to have a spelling test. Spell the word white. Spell the word thingy.
Thingy?
Yeah.
All right.
I love it when a game plan comes together. I want to show this to you. Okay?
Please.
Most people don't spell the word white, W-I-G-H-T.
She knows I can't
She
spell.
knows that you spell the word white,
She knows I
W-I-G-H-T.
can't spell.
You're an idiot! You're an idiot! Let me explain something to you, sir. I have absolutely no sympathy for what you did. She's suing you for
For what I
$1,000
did.
for what you did. She's suing you for $1,000 because you posted something on the internet that was designed purposely to be malicious and probably false. I'm not a medical doctor, so I can't tell whether she suffers from this condition that you ascribed to her. However, it was vicious and it was intended to cause her pain. She's suing you for $1,000. That's exactly what she's going to get. Judgment for the plaintiff. That's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Pretty much she wrote that I didn't do anything like that.
Well, his stupidity gave him away.
First day, she was going around telling everybody that we were going out. We didn't even know each other then.
How was I supposed to know you spell white, W-I-G-H-T?
She's obsessed over me. She likes the way I look.
I'm obsessed with him. That's funny.
She was obsessed about my abs, about my body, pretty much.
He was the one calling me, come back, come back.
She's not my type at all.
I'm in college, and he's just a 9-year-old.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Whiteman versus Debalski. Step forward, please.
Student Robert Whiteman is suing his former cleaning lady, 23-year-old Danielle Debalski, for an unpaid car loan and for stealing money from his home. Danielle says Robert breached their contract when he fired her.
Hands out of your pockets.
Sorry.
Mr. Whiteman, according
Yes.
to your complaint, the defendant was a friend of yours and she sometimes did some work for you as a housekeeper. You loaned her some money to buy a car. She did not repay all the money that you loaned her, and you also say that she stole some money from you. So I want you to tell me when you gave her the money for this car and under what circumstances.
Well, it was back in February of 2003. I lent her $3,360, $3,000 for a car, and the rest was for insurance. And then the agreement
Why would
was,
you lend her so much money?
Well, because she was my housekeeper. Well, at that time, she was not my housekeeper. But she needed a car because there's something wrong with her car, and she has a son, so she needs to get around. So I said, I'll lend you the money.
How did you meet her?
Oh, through a friend of mine. You know, she's a housekeeper, and I needed one. So
Full-time housekeeper?
Yes.
What did you need a full-time housekeeper for?
Because I don't like to clean my own house.
How big a house do you have?
It was a townhouse.
Who else lives there?
Myself.
How old are you?
25.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm a student.
Who pays for the house?
I have a trust fund.
And it was from the trust fund that you paid her salary?
Correct.
Okay, how much of a trust fund do you have?
A lot. I mean, she made about $1,000 a month, so about $6,000 a month.
And that was prior to February of 2003.
That was actually July 2002.
So you knew her for at least a period of time before, and she had worked for you. How many days a week?
3.
Tell me about the arrangement for repayment of this $3,360.
Well, because she no longer worked for me.
Why did you fire her?
Well, because we kind of became too good of friends, and it kind of interrupted with her working for me. So, you know, we both agreed upon, you know, her not working for me, and it was $250 a month until the $3,360 was paid back. And then for 3 months, I didn't hear from her. So finally in June, I called her parents' house, and she called me back, and it was the day before I was going to San Diego for vacation, and she gave me the car back.
And when did she give you the car back?
Like June 20th, somewhere around there.
June of 2003?
Yes, yes.
You gave him the car back, is that right, Mr. Blinsky?
I don't believe so.
Look at me. Did the car end up in his possession in June of 2003?
I believed it to be August.
August of 2003, did the car end up in his possession?
Yes.
Why?
Why? Because 6 months had passed since the time that he bought me the car, and I still didn't have any money to pay him. I couldn't hold a job, so...
So you acknowledge that this was a loan?
Yes. The agreement was that there was no specified amount or time period, but it was within reasonable time, and 6 months is plenty of time to make a first payment, and I just couldn't do it. So, yeah, I agreed to give him back the car.
He offered to buy me a car to get around because I have a child. We always took care of each other, so I accepted his offer. There was no mention of this being a loan. That's what you wrote in your answer.
No, that's not true. It was
I don't have that great of a memory, and if that's what I said, then
no, that
I'm not trying to lie. I'm
no,
just
you
saying,
signed it. I assume you read it before you signed it.
I don't know what the. Sorry.
Do you owe him the money or don't you owe him the money?
I don't believe that he deserves to get paid.
Just a second. Okay. Come on. Shh, just a second.
I believe
you acknowledge that initially this was a loan.
Okay, initially,
It was a loan. And now you say you don't believe that he is entitled to get the money. So now I'm going to find out why.
I believe that this case has to do with a breach of contract. The last contract that we made several. And each time when you make a new contract, most of the time the old one is extinct.
So let me hear your defense. I'm waiting for your defense.
The last contract that we made was that I would clean his house 3 times a week. Instead of getting $1,200 a month,
Sorry.
$1,200, that he would take $500 out of my pay and give me $700 a month, which was $175 a week.
Okay.
On Fridays.
So then you went back to work for him?
Yes. I begged him to have the job back because it was very well paying, and I enjoyed working for him. I saw that he appreciated my work.
Fine. Let's get on to the new contract.
The new contract was that he was moving into this new condo with Stephanie, and I was to clean his house 3 times a week, and he would deduct $500 a month for the car until March, which I would have paid it off by then.
Okay. And what happened?
I worked the whole month of October. The 3rd week, I was not paid for like a week and a half, and that's where this $40 comes in.
What $40?
This $40 that they both keep saying that I stole.
Did you take $40?
Yes. I asked Robert if he had any money for me because I didn't have any gas at all, and he didn't pay me for a week and a half, and he said, well, go look up in my nightstand. I said, at least $10. Do you have at least $10? He said, go look up on my nightstand. He had like 20 or 30 in there, and then $10 on the microwave. And I took the money and left a note like I always did. I'd done this several times with Bob before.
So that's the money he says you stole, and when he saw the money was gone, he fired you?
No, it wasn't just like that. It was that same day. They came back about 20 minutes after I left his house and wrote this note and everything. Instead, I agree that I probably could have called him, but I've done this before, and Bob never had a problem with it. Never.
Go ahead.
And so 20 minutes after I leave, I'm almost home, and Stephanie proceeds to call me and tell me that that money that I took was not for me to take, that it was I had no right to take it, and if this was a real job, I would have been fired or something. And I said, well, I can understand your point. I should have called, but I've done this with Bob before. The letter was to Bob. I thought the money was all Bob's since it was mostly in his nightstand. And
did he fire you?
Yeah. He called me back.
That's your defense.
2 weeks later,
because he was
fired me.
supposed. Just a second. Sorry. Is that your defense that because he was supposed to deduct money from your salary to pay for the car,
right?
And since he fired you for taking money, that you shouldn't have to pay him back for the car? Is that your defense?
Yes.
Okay. Let me hear about this $40 quickly.
Okay,
please.
basically, I gave her $10 in cash for gas, okay? She's always asking me for money, left and right, every time she comes. I need gas money. I need money for Joey, her child, whatever it is. And I gave her $10. And no, I paid her on time. I pay her every Friday, and it was Monday or Wednesday, okay, that this whole incident happened. So it wasn't Friday yet. And then, I come home, and then there's this letter saying she took money out of my bureau and on top of my microwave. And I fired her because nobody should steal money from me.
Okay.
And it was also, Mrs. Katz's money, so.
Fine. She still owes you $3,400.
That is correct.
You owe him the money, madam. You know you owe him the money. And you can make whatever excuses you like. Don't make excuses. Just pay what you owe. You have the car back? You have the car back?
Yes, I have the car.
Good. And you're driving the car?
Yes.
Good. $3,400. Judgment
But
for
I
plaintiff.
can't-
Thank you very much. That's all.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
It's a big, long story. It's a big drama scene. That's all it is.
Well, I'm happy that I won, and this whole entire problem is over with.
For a guy who does not who always said that he didn't like drama, he sure has helped me a lot.
No, she made the drama because I bought her a car. She never paid me back, so she did the drama. I did nothing.
Dragging me here and making a fool of me.
This never happened before, so I don't know what she has no memory.
I mean, I do enough of that for myself. I don't need someone else's help.
I think she's just greedy.
Ever since he moved in with his other girlfriend, I was the outcast then.
She knows that he has a trust fund, and she used him for his money.
You guys just get married while you're at it.
I would, but he's gay.
Yeah, remember I'm gay.
I don't understand how one day he can like me and then all of a sudden over $40. If he was a friend, he could have said something nice and then I could have apologized. And I did apologize. I even offered the money back that day.
She has no class.
Snyder and her husband Michael are suing motel owner Michael Adkins for the refund on a motel room.
Order. Come to order. All rise. This is case number 438 on the calendar, the matter of Snyder versus Adkins. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats.
Mr. and Mrs. Snyder, you want a refund from the defendant who owns a motel where you had a reservation.
Yes, ma'am.
You claim that the conditions in the motel were substandard. First, tell me where you were traveling to, from what city to what city?
We were traveling from Newport News, Virginia to Stanton, Virginia.
Was this a hotel or a motel?
Motel.
So you just pulled in off the road? You didn't know anything about the motel?
No, ma'am. We did know about the hotel. Our parents-in-law had stayed there previous on several occasions before.
At the same motel?
Yes, ma'am, under different management.
Okay. So you showed up on the 27th of November, and what happened?
We showed up, and the lady checked us in, indicated to us that the rooms had not been completely cleaned.
Which rooms? How many rooms did you need?
2.
Why?
For my husband and myself and my mother and father-in-law.
Did they tell you how much the rooms were?
At the time of purchase, yes.
And how much were they?
$49.27 a piece.
What time was this?
Between 11 and 12 that afternoon.
Any of these people involved in checking in the plaintiffs?
Yes, ma'am. I checked them in.
Okay, step up here. Tell me your name.
Melinda Adkins.
Ms. Adkins, did you tell Mr. and Mrs. Snyder that the rooms weren't cleaned yet?
Yes, ma'am. I informed them that the housekeeper was up there cleaning, but she had yet to finish those rooms.
Fine. So what did you do?
We explained to her that would not be a problem, that all we needed to do was drop 2 bags off, 1 in each room, and we were going to proceed to the North River, which is where we were going that weekend.
Okay, fine. So you said it wouldn't be a problem, I'll just drop my bags and I'll be back.
Yes, ma'am.
What happened when you got back? When did you get back?
We got back between 11:30 that evening. Before we had gotten back, we'd had dinner in a restaurant, the 4 of us, and we discussed our concerns about the hotel rooms.
What were your concerns?
We had several. For one, there were several burn marks throughout the hotel rooms.
Did you go into the rooms?
Yes, ma'am, we did when we dropped our bags off earlier that afternoon.
Okay, but the rooms hadn't been cleaned yet?
Exactly.
Okay. So you were discussing the conditions of the rooms when you were out for dinner?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, when you came back, what happened at 11:30?
We went in to talk with the person at the office, which is a gentleman, I didn't get his name, explained to him our concerns, which were several. And in the end, the clerk said that we would be able to be moved to 2 other rooms in the front of the hotel. We indicated to the clerk that would be fine for us to go check out the rooms. We wanted to be moved.
Okay. Now you can describe the conditions to me that you saw earlier when you dropped your bags off.
Okay. In the room my husband and I stayed in, there were several burn marks throughout the entire motel room. There were cigarette butts in the toilet. There was a credit card tray on the counter that had many burn marks on it, along with a white substance. And before we even entered the room, there was a man sitting in his underwear on his bed with his door wide open, watching every move we made. Of course,
You
that
mean on
caused
the
concern.
across the hall?
Yes, ma'am.
But not in your room, not in the room, but
Correct.
across the hall. He
Yes,
had his
ma'am.
door open. Okay. And what about in your in-laws' room?
There were several dead flies and ladybugs in the windowsill. There was many, many mirrors throughout the room.
Mirrors?
Mirrors everywhere. Mirrors everywhere. Concern was that what was behind those mirrors.
It's a honeymoon suite.
Listen to me. Don't speak.
Yes, ma'am.
Until I'm ready for you. Okay. So, they said that they would move you.
Yes, ma'am.
And you went to look at the 2 rooms that were in the front?
Yes, ma'am.
And what happened?
My husband and my father-in-law proceeded to open the rooms. My husband had difficulties with one of the keys. My husband proceeded to the office at that time. Mr. Atkins was in the office, and if you want my husband to explain, he was in there.
He was right behind the door, like there was a little room behind the desk, and I heard this. I don't know what their problem is, but these guys have been up there for 2 weeks and haven't bothered anybody. And I said, my wife does not feel comfortable up there. The man standing in his underwear, sitting there watching us the whole time. He come out, he said something, I'm not sure to what words he said. I said, well, you know, he told me to get out of his office. And I said, well, give us our money back and we'll just go ahead and leave your hotel room. He said, well, I'm not giving you money back, you need to leave now. And when he did that, I probably got a little irate. And I
You
walked
probably
out.
did?
Mm-hmm.
And what did you say when you got a little irate?
Can't remember exactly what I said.
But you cursed a little bit?
Yeah,
screamed
oh
a
yeah.
little bit?
Oh
Okay.
yes, ma'am.
All right, did you stay there that night?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so you want your money back. 49 times 2.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right? Okay. Now, I'll hear you. Go.
Yes, ma'am. Two things. Whenever you rent a room in the state of Virginia, the reg card is like a contract. It can't be broken. I can't just throw somebody out for no reason. And the other one, if they checked in that morning, they expect you to believe that they just looked at the room, it was substandard, and that night they decided that they weren't going to stay anymore when they come back. They had plenty of opportunity to see the room that day.
Mr. Atkins, how long have you owned this motel?
This particular property we had just bought in September.
So that when her family stayed there before, you were not the owners?
Not when they stayed there before, no.
Had you ever been in the motel business before?
Yes, ma'am. I have been
Where?
for 3 years.
3 years. By the way, what's the name of your motel?
Colony House Motel.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and where is it located?
In Waynesboro, Virginia.
Mr. Atkins, how far is it from where these people travel to where your motel is?
It's approximately maybe 3.5 hours.
Now, I know that you don't have any advanced degrees in psychiatry or psychology, but
No,
I would
ma'am.
like you to take a look at these two people and tell me
Sure.
whether you believe that Mrs. Snyder is a psychopath or a sociopath. I want you to look at her. Do you think she is?
No, but that night there was a lot of alcohol involved when they got
I'm not
back.
talking about alcohol. I'm talking about whether you looking at Miss Snyder, does she look like a psychopath or a sociopath?
No,
to
she
you?
doesn't.
Here are people that come with an older couple. They take 2 rooms.
Yes, ma'am.
They've come to your motel after a 3.5-hour drive. When they get there, they're told that there are rooms. They say, great, but they're not quite cleaned yet. And they say, fine, we don't want to stay in them now. We just want to drop our bags for the day. Now, one of the things that troubled her was that there's this guy sitting in his gatkes with his door open across the hall. Well, they didn't make up that story. Now, that may not disturb you, Mr. Atkins, but I could understand that disturbing this.
me.
I could understand that disturbing this lady. Bottom line, sir, is since they don't look like psychopaths and they didn't have a place to stay at 11:30 at night, there must have been a severe enough disturbance at what they saw at your motel that would have inspired them to say, I'd rather drive home 3.5 hours or at midnight go and try to find someplace else rather than stay in this place because this place gives me the heebie-jeebies. It doesn't look like it's kept clean. It doesn't look like they provide sufficient security. Looks like there maybe is a weirdo sleeping down the hall that I don't want to be involved with.
No, ma'am, it's not like that.
It's exactly
It
like
is
that.
not
Do you
like
want to
that.
exactly, Mr. Atkins?
is
And I'm
not
going
like
to
that.
explain why to you because you have to think logically. Why would people travel 3.5 hours to stay at a place and then at midnight, after they've been enjoying the whole day with family? This was family. These weren't a bunch of teenagers. Come back and say, I feel sufficiently uncomfortable. I don't want to stay in this room. It's dirty and scuzzy. Some of the people who are staying at this motel are pretty scuzzy. I'll try it.
No, ma'am,
I'll
it
try
is not like
and
that.
then they come across attitude. You give them their money back because if you are in business, and since they haven't used any of the service, and since you had plenty of other rooms there, Mr. and Mrs. Atkins, because you were able to put them in 2 other rooms, which means that you weren't full up, then a good businessman said, I'm sorry if you weren't satisfied. You haven't used any of our services. Here's your $49.27 back. We do hope you'll try us again. We've just bought this place, and things aren't 100% right. You don't make a big deal.
They were asking
Judgment
to
for the
move.
plaintiff in the amount of $98.54. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
The fact that he become aggressive is the reason they didn't get the refund.
What happened to customer service? That's what's important to us.
The least he can do is step up to the plate right here and tell you the truth. You were aggressive.
Oh yeah, I was definitely aggressive, especially when he told me I wasn't getting my money back to get off the property.
He just kind of went ballistic.
If you keep a good company and good business and supply good customer service, there wouldn't be a problem like this anymore.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Alvarado versus Thurman. Step forward, please.
Claims adjuster Gilbert Alvarado is suing his ex-girlfriend, corrections officer Shamia Thurman, for totaling his car. Shamia says it's Gilbert's fault for letting the brakes go bad.
Mr. Alvarado, Miss Thurman was your girlfriend for how long?
She was actually a friend. We had met around July of last year during the summer. And
Well, we became real close friends. I had ran into her. She came to my job.
Oh, okay, so you became close friends, and for some reason, which I'm sure you'll explain to me, you allowed her to borrow your car. It was not just for one day. She was going to be driving your car. You loaned her your car in September of 2003, and she ran a red light in November of 2003 and totaled your car, or caused a lot of damage to your car. You want her to pay for the damage.
Yes, correct.
Right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Miss Thurman says it was your fault. So, you borrowed his car. What kind of car did you borrow?
It was a 1999 Mercury Sable.
And why did you borrow it?
First of all, I was his girlfriend.
Oh, fine, you were his girlfriend.
Yeah.
He borrowed his car, girlfriend, friend.
He gave me his car because I just moved here in July to North Carolina, and he knew I needed a car to go to work. And he just started a new job, and his new job gave him a brand new car. So he said, well, first let me write up a contract. And I said, okay, fine, whatever. So after he did that, he came and picked me up. We both drove back to his home, gave me the keys to his car, and I just drove home with it. After a while, like 3 weeks, I would say, I noticed that the car was like, it jumped, and then it was hard to press on the brakes. And I brought it to Mr. Alvarado's attention, and he just said I was selfish and I should appreciate that I even have a car.
So you had a little trouble with the car. Why didn't you take it in to be fixed? You were driving it.
Because in the contract it says that he was totally responsible for all serious maintenance problems, and I
Let me see the contract. Okay, keep going. So the car was jumping and you brought it to his attention. Go ahead.
So of the day of the accident was the day after Thanksgiving. I was going to work. The guy that I hit rear-ended. I tried to stop enough time, but see, the brakes...
You ran a red light.
I did not run a red light, Your Honor.
Your Honor, here I have a copy of the police report.
Can I see it?
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Ex-girlfriend Shamia Thurman owes for totaling his car. Shamia says Gilbert allowed the brakes to go bad.
This says you ran a red light.
Because the witness of that person I got into an accident with told the police officer that I ran a red light, which was not true.
Did you get a citation for running a red light?
Yes, but they
they
dismissed it to the 27th of this month.
They didn't dismiss it until the 27th.
Well, you know, they postponed it.
But you got a citation for running a red light. Okay. Go ahead.
So, basically, the reason why I got into the accident, like I said, was because of the brakes. So he tells my grandmother, he calls my grandmother, and he tells me, oh, well, you know, she got into an accident with my car, and my grandma, shh. But then basically he told her, well, she doesn't have to worry about it because the insurance is paying for the damages to the car.
Okay. Let me understand this. 3 weeks after Mr. Alvarado gave you the car,
yes,
you started to
have problems.
Yes,
with it. Correct.
So that would have been sometime at the beginning of October.
Yes.
All right. You had this accident at the end of November.
Yes.
So you're telling me that what appears to be a normal person was driving around in a car for 7 weeks that was giving her trouble and did nothing about it. And you think that that's his fault?
Well, he said that...
No. He said nothing. This is what he said. He said, your contract says that you will be responsible in the event there's an accident, and if you're found to be at fault, you're responsible for all damage and repairs to the car. That you are responsible for all gas and routine maintenance while the vehicle is in her possession, right?
Yes.
When did you take the vehicle in to have it checked by a mechanic for these problems that you say were happening 3 weeks into your loan?
I didn't.
Then how am I supposed to know, and how is he supposed to know if this is a routine problem or a serious problem?
Because I told him, and he tried to fix it himself.
No. That's your problem. You're supposed to take the car in for routine maintenance.
Okay.
And if you're an intelligent person and you're driving a car and the car isn't driving properly, you take the car into a mechanic and you say, does it need oil? Does it need a brake adjustment? Does it need just routine servicing of the brakes? Because that has to be done sometimes. Or is it something that's more than that? And if it's something that's more than that, you say, Mr. Alvarado, pursuant to our contract, you have to be responsible because this is a serious problem. So you want him to be responsible because he wasn't a mind reader to figure out that maybe something was wrong with the brakes of the car.
He knew. He did.
Absolutely. Excuse me, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Absolutely not. She let me know that there's a service engine light. I said, go get it checked out.
Of course you go get it checked out.
Go get it checked out.
Of course you go get it checked out. You don't just drive it unless you are a totally irresponsible, thoughtless person. You take it into a mechanic if she says that there's a service light, because you say here, I saw the service light, then you take the car in and you have it serviced. You are responsible for routine maintenance pursuant to this contract. You don't just call up and say, you're responsible for service, and it says service, and keep driving it for 7 weeks. That's stupid. Let's get to you. This car was financed?
Yes, it was, Your Honor.
So you had insurance?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Okay. What were your out-of-pocket expenses with regard to this car?
The insurance company paid the lien holder off $3,800. The remaining balance is $2,159.67.
Why are you suing her for $4,000?
For the damages of the vehicle. I know I'm insured, Your Honor, but she's still responsible for the damage. Let me add to the fact, Your Honor, that the week after, when she called me on that Friday...
It's going to get worse. He's just digging it for himself. And I'm going to sit here and enjoy listening to this.
When she called me on that Friday, she told me, Gilbert, I've been in an accident.
$4,000! Where did you get the figure from, sir?
From the damages. I have the estimate of the damages.
You didn't pay for it. Your insurance company paid for it.
Correct, but it still doesn't take away the fact that Shamia was responsible for the car. Let me add to the fact that the following week, when I called Shamia, I said, Shamia, we had a contract. She was like, well, take me to court. You got a contract, take me to court. It's your problem, deal with it. So, which leaves me without a car, Your Honor. All I ask is to be in the same situation, at least in the same predicament where I was before with the car.
I'm going to tell you what your predicament is. Your predicament right now is me, because I finished with her. I've already found that she is responsible, aside from the fact that she has tried to sidestep responsibility. She understands that this is her fault, not yours. If she doesn't understand it, that's too bad. Now, you say that you owe to the lien holder?
Correct.
Who was the lien holder?
Drive Financial.
And is that the exact amount that you owe them?
Yes, Your Honor.
Fine. Then the judgment will be entered against the defendant, but the check will be made payable to Drive Financial. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, you understand, Ms. Thurman, that you are responsible for that because he should not have any out-of-pocket expenses because you were negligent in driving this car. So I'm entering a judgment in the amount of $2,159.67. The check will be made payable to, listen carefully, Drive Financial. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's all. Step out.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I'm satisfied with the judgment.
Even though it was a judgment against me, I still feel happy that long as he didn't get it.
She was just being like, it's like if I wrecked her car, she was being totally disrespectful. Basically told me, F me, deal with it, it's your problem.
He's a total loser anyway, so I have no problem.
She wasn't my girlfriend, sort of like a friends with benefits type situation, but she wasn't my girlfriend.
He only knew me for 2 months before he gave me a car. I don't know any person that would do that, but if you're not together.
Well, if you're going to let somebody borrow a car, always make them sign a contract at least.
I'm happy. He's gone. Smile.
Now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Williams versus Sensei. Step forward, please.
26-year-old business owner Carrie Williams is suing her ex-fiancé, plumber Joseph Sensi, for unpaid credit card charges, a trip to Hawaii, and damage to her car. Joseph says Carrie won't give back the engagement ring.
Miss Williams, Mr. Sensi was your former fiancé.
Correct.
How long were you engaged?
9 months.
And how long did you live together?
A little over a year.
It is your claim that Mr. Sensi owes you a whole bunch of money. He's claimed that sometime, I think it was November of 2002, he damaged your car. Is that right?
Damage to my car was in June.
And when did you break up?
December 19th of 2002.
So in 6 months, he didn't pay for that car.
No.
And then you claim in November of 2002, you went to Hawaii to attend your brother's wedding, and he was supposed to pay for half the trip, and he didn't. Is that right? Then you claim that while you were together, he made many charges on your credit card that's in your name, and he hasn't paid those charges. Is that right?
Correct.
And Mr. Sensi says that while you were together and while you were living together, you had pooled your money. Is that right?
Yes.
Did you have a joint bank account?
Yes, we did.
And he put his check into the account, and you paid the bills?
Yes.
So that whatever money you believe that he owes you was paid as a result of his putting his paycheck into the account You want to pay the bill for the trip, you pay the bill for the trip. You want to pay the bill for the car damage, you pay the bill for the car damage. Aside from the fact he says that you've damaged his car as well. By the way, he also says you have the engagement ring. Is that true?
That is correct.
Why is that?
He owes me a lot of money, Your Honor, and I just didn't feel right being able to give him something, and in return when he owes me a lot of money, I just didn't feel right about that.
Really? Well, let's figure that out. Where did you buy the ring, sir?
Case, jeweler.
How much did you pay for it?
$3,000, $3,000.
Where's the ring?
At home.
If I give you anything, Miss Williams, you have to understand that I'm deducting $3,000 from that.
Can I give him the ring back?
If you would have brought it to court today, I would have said fine, but you didn't. I'm not interested in anything you have to say. How much money were you earning for the 9 months you lived together, sir?
Between $2,000 and up.
And how much money did you give Miss Williams when you were living together?
I pretty much all of it in the bank account.
He put his whole paycheck in the account?
No, Your Honor. He has a son, a 4-year-old son, and he pays child support to his son.
How much do you pay in child support, Mr. Sensen?
$600.
$600 a month.
Yeah.
Now, what was the rent on this apartment?
$1,070, Your Honor.
And what other expenses did you have?
The usual, electricity, cable, car payments.
Let's go to car payments. How much was his car payment?
Mine was $250.
And how much was your car payment?
$450.
So your car payment was $200 more than his.
That's correct.
And he was putting in a little bit less because he was paying $600 a month child support.
Yes.
Did you have your car fixed when he had an accident in your car?
No, actually, it's still damaged, and I do have the pictures.
Why didn't you fix it?
I haven't had the money, Your Honor, to repair it.
Baloney. If it happened in June and you wanted to have your car repaired, what you do is, when he gives you his paycheck in June, you go and take your car and you have it repaired and you do it. It happened in June, you didn't break up until December. That's 6 months. Forget about the car. As you can see, I'm unsympathetic so far with your position. Now let's get to the trip to Hawaii. The trip to Hawaii was in November to your brother's wedding. How did you pay for the tickets?
My mother and father actually paid for our tickets because we could not financially afford to do it at the time.
So why did you go to Hawaii for your brother's wedding if the parents paid for it?
It was my brother's wedding. I felt like I needed to be there, and considering he was my fiancé, I wanted him to be around.
Then you pay for it.
We didn't have the money, Your Honor.
Then you borrowed it, you pay it back. It was your brother's wedding. You wanted to go. You wanted him to go with you. He's giving you all his money, madam. If you and he cannot afford to go to your brother's wedding in Hawaii, and you want to go anyway, and he's giving you his whole paycheck, and you're the one who's deciding what bills to pay and what bills not to pay, then you don't go to your brother's wedding, or go yourself. And you want him to go with you? Go. Pay for it. Pay for it.
We both decided that we were going to go. He said, with the next paycheck, I will pay you. It was a family decision. We decided to do it together.
And he never paid me on the next paycheck.
Listen to me. He put his whole paycheck into their joint account. Do you understand?
Yes.
Perfect.
We shared numerous credit cards together, Your Honor, that I charged my name because he has no credit at all. He couldn't get credit cards in his name.
Listen to me.
I was the idiot who did it all to myself.
Then what you have to do is say, I'm the idiot. Why are you visiting your lunacy on the court system?
Because I would think that the court system would be unfair to me due to the fact that I have all of this evidence, which I would love the opportunity to prove to you.
Me. We do not have courts in this country that deal with the problems of people who choose to live together. You entangle your finances, and then you expect courts to waste valuable time in untangling your mess. There is no question in my mind that he was charging things on a credit card that was in your name because you gave him permission to do that. You were responsible for the finances. He's given you the money.
You planned on staying together.
Listen to me. Don't interfere. Of course they planned on staying together. And if they planned on staying together, and if they were together, we wouldn't be here.
My mother and father have been married for over 30 years. They set a very good example on what marriage should be like. I've never been engaged before. This was the man I was going to spend the rest of my life with.
Correct.
Yeah, we're engaged. I treated our relationship as if we were getting married. We
Listen
were
to
planning
me.
Our wedding.
Engaged is not married. Pay attention. They're married for 35 years or 30 years or however long they're married. Courts recognize their relationship. If they gave you a very good example of what marriage is, then what you do is you don't live together and open up a joint bank account and joint credit cards and joint debts and joint obligations until you are
married.
Right. And if you choose not to do that, don't bother me.
Carrie,
you
why
have
did
an
you break up?
engagement ring. Sell it.
Well,
Goodbye.
I would like to tell you, Your Honor, that I have a police report.
Oh,
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He physically abused me. I have a police report showing it. He went to jail for 4 days.
Had to take somebody. You know, California law, somebody has to go. So I'm the aggressor. I was the aggressor. I'm bigger.
I've tried numerous times to resolve this out of court, and he never even gave me the opportunity.
Courtroom. This is Judge Judy. Real estate broker June Dallin is suing her brother, cook Paul Hughes, for the cost of a defense attorney to keep him out of jail. Paul says his ex-girlfriend was the person who borrowed the money.
Yeah, and that's case number 122 on the calendar in the matter of Dallin versus Hughes. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Thank you,
Have a
Bert.
seat. You are.
Miss Dallin, Mr. Hughes is your brother.
Yes.
And I gather from your complaint that you've bailed him out of jail a couple of times.
Yes.
First time you bailed him out of jail was in a dispute involving a girlfriend or something, and you're not asking for reimbursement of that. Second time you bailed him out of jail, you claim it cost you $5,000. You want the money back.
It was actually $5,208.
Well, our limit is $5,000.
Yes.
Mr. Hughes said it was very nice of you to bail him out of jail. He never asked you to do it. A loan was never created. Someone else asked you. Someone by the name of Nancy, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's not you, is it?
Yes.
Oh, Nancy. So, Ms. Dallin, tell me about the second time you bailed him out of jail.
Okay.
When was it?
It actually wasn't bailing him out of jail. It was paying for a defense attorney for him.
Oh. Was he in jail at the time?
No. He was supposed to be in jail, but he took off from Minnesota and came to California.
So he was out on a fugitive warrant?
Yes.
Was he staying with you?
He showed up at my door, yes.
So tell me about the $5,200 and some odd dollars.
So he had this other attorney that was supposed to be a really, really good attorney because he kind of got the shaft on the first attorney. And the attorney said, well, you didn't deserve all the punishment that you got. He had 3 days left of a 3-year probation. So, and anger management class and all kinds of stuff. So the sentence that he got was horrible. He got another 18 months anger management. He got 3 more years of probation. He got...
Because he did what?
He had alcohol in his system. It was his birthday, and he went out and he had beer, and they were pulled over, and that was a violation of probation. So the judge gave... The judge just like dumped on him and gave him this whole...
Sounds perfect to me.
Big, long...
These are the rules.
Right.
You break the rules, there's a consequence.
So the
they
second
didn't put
attorney...
him on a rack, did they?
Did they what?
Put him on a rack? They didn't put him on a rack.
No.
Go ahead.
So the second attorney said, I know the judge, and I will go and I will talk to the judge for you, but it's going to cost you $5,000. I had already paid for the first one, $3,000. I paid for the home monitoring system. I paid $1,200 in collect phone calls from jail.
Okay, all right, I got, you've been a good sister so far.
So, the $5,000. He decides that he's in love with Nancy, who is my best friend of the last 25 years, actually. And he works for her. Her folks own a marina in Lake Minnetonka, and he is the chef there. So,
Nancy called you.
No. Well, we talk every day on the phone. We all talk every day on the phone.
I understand it. Nancy called you and asked you for the money. That's what you said.
Well...
Don't play, Miss Dallin. That's
Nancy
what you say.
Nancy guaranteed the money. She said she would take it out of...
Listen to me. According to your complaint, you had a conversation with Nancy. You want me to read it to you?
Okay. I had several conversations with Nancy.
I don't care what your
Nancy
conversations were,
encouraged
but
it,
your
and
several
Nancy
conversations were.
guaranteed it.
Only one of us can talk at one time. In October 2002, Nancy called and asked that I pay for yet another attorney. Nancy was so distraught, begged and pleaded. So you had a conversation with Nancy about the money.
And I told Nancy, no. No.
Go ahead.
Nancy said, I will garnish his wages and make payments. And they did. They made 2 payments on this credit card.
Just a second. So Nancy said, he works for me. I'll put a garnish on his wages.
Yes.
So she
guaranteed the money. It's almost
I
like
know
she
what a
co-signed.
garnish. No, I know what a garnishment is. She didn't guarantee the money. She said, as long as he's working here for me, I will garnish his salary so that you'll get the money. Guaranteeing the money is different. Guaranteeing the money is, if he doesn't pay you back, I will.
And then she said, when I sell my house, I will give him the money to pay you off, and then he can make payments to me. That's, to me, sound like a guarantee.
Well, that's different from what you just told me, except she has to sell her house first.
She did sell her house.
Okay.
And I still don't have any money.
So why are you suing your brother?
Because he's the one that borrowed it from me.
So far, I don't have that. So far, I have she borrowed it from you.
She didn't borrow it from me. She encouraged it.
Miss Dallin, you got it all wrong, madam.
They're multimillionaires. The family is multimillionaires.
Miss
They can write a
Dallin,
check
I want
for
you to
it.
pay attention to me. I understand that what you did was you advanced this money. What you are suing for in court is an oral contract. Your oral contract was with Nancy. She may not have benefited from the contract because he was the one who was in trouble. She may have benefited from it. Let's say she benefited from it because he was a valued employee for whatever reason. And she wanted to ensure that he was going to stay on the job, so she guaranteed the return of your money, even though it wasn't for her immediate benefit.
Well, that creates to marry him.
Listen to me. That creates a contract. His defense to this is, sure, my sister gave me the money for the attorney, but I never agreed to pay her back.
Yes, he did.
She agreed to pay her back.
He's the one that said he would pay me back.
Well, you never told me that, Miss Dallin.
On it.
No, you never told me that, Miss Dallin. You told me your contract was with Nancy. Now I'll hear you further. You explain to me your contract with your brother. But make sure it's true, because I've already heard the first part of it. So far, I haven't heard anything about your brother.
Judge Judy June Dallin says her brother, Paul Hughes, owes for the cost of an attorney. Paul says it was his ex-girlfriend who borrowed the money.
Go ahead.
He needed the money because he was on the run, and he wanted to go back to Minnesota to be with her. They've had this love affair for 25 years, on and off.
Yes.
So he said, I need $5,000. So he had gone out. He knew the attorney. He was going to try to make payments to him. He was going to do whatever he could do to pay off this money. So he asked me for the money. And I said, I don't have $5,000. I'm still making payments on the first
Fine, so you
money.
said no.
So I said, absolutely not. No. So he called, and he called, and he called, and he called back to her, and they sat and tried to work something out to get this money. Finally, he's not going anywhere when he's staying at my house. He's got a sentence hanging over his head. He's running from the law. So Nancy said, come back here and work at the Caribbean. I will garnish your wages, and we'll make the payments to you. So I said...
The contract is with her, not with him.
But he's the one that said, will you loan me the money? I finally said, okay.
No. Listen to me. That's not what happened, Miss Dallin. What happened was he asked to borrow the money, and you said no. And he asked you again, and you said, no, I'm still paying off the other money. Then your best friend called you, who you know has money, and said, in effect, he's going to come back, he's going to work for me in the restaurant, I'm going to garnish his salary, so you're assured of getting your money.
She guaranteed it.
Then you got to sue her, not him. You have no contract. You have no legally binding contract with your brother. Now, I'm not going into whether or not you have a legally binding contract with Nancy. You may. I don't have to go into that now. She's not a party. You don't have a legally binding contract with your brother because he asked to borrow the money and you said no.
Well, I said no several times. I said no on the first one, and I finally gave in to him.
No, you gave in to her. You rejected his request until she convinced you that she would be good for the money. Then you said okay.
She never said she'd be good for the money. She said she'd take it out of his paycheck and pay it. And he made 2 payments on it. That shows faith.
That shows nothing, madam. You're suing the wrong person. You do not have a legally binding contract with your brother. You rejected his request for the money until she, your friend of 25 years, said to you, I will, in effect, get the money back to you. If it's not through him working at the restaurant, it's when I sell my house and I'm going to give him the money. But your contract was not with him. So you've got the wrong party over there. Try her. That's all. Case dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She actually had nothing to do with it. Nothing.
I didn't ask her for the money.
Hopefully we can all go out and have lunch or something and talk about it.
I'm not paying the money, so...
And now the suing hair salon manager Patricia Massey, stylist Zena Kanuna, and receptionist Kelly Bauer. Catherine says the blonde highlight she asked for turned out purple.
Now, this is case number 118 on the calendar in the matter of Jergens versus Mirror Salon. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat, please.
Who's the owner of Mirror Salon?
She's not present.
Well, who's going to be speaking for
I'm
this?
the manager. My name is Patricia Mass.
Good. Why don't you, the two of you, have a seat? Ms. Jergens, you went to the salon, this Mirror Salon, to have your hair cut and colored.
Yes.
And it is your claim that, aside from the haircut that was a little too short that you were not happy with, the hair color that they provided for you was really less than satisfactory, giving you a slightly purple spotted tone.
Yes.
And when you got home and you saw it in natural light, you were appalled. You went someplace else and had it redone. What you're suing for is the cost of having the process that they did at Mirror reversed, and also the bounce check costs that you stopped payment on the check that you wrote to them.
Yes.
The salon says that they want the money that you were supposed to pay them for the work that they did for you, because they would have been delighted to repair your hair had you come back to them. They didn't have that opportunity because you went elsewhere. So tell me when you went to their salon.
I went there on March 22nd.
Was this the first time that you had been there?
Yes.
Who recommended it?
I live nearby there. And
so nobody?
No one.
And you didn't have the name of a stylist or colorist? You just walked in
No, I didn't.
Cold?
I called in about a week beforehand, and I just asked for a Saturday appointment for blonde highlights and a haircut, and they suggested Zena.
Okay, so you got a haircut, and they cut your hair too short for you. But you weren't so upset about that. That happens. It's happened
It'll
to
grow.
everybody. Hair grows. What about the color?
Well, the color, we had agreed on blonde highlights and brown lowlights. She had brought out some color swatches of hair. We agreed on it, and she went ahead.
Okay, you left, you paid your bill, so in the salon it looked fine?
Yes, it did, but the lighting in the salon it's very soft,
I understand.
kind of dark.
Been there, I know what you're talking about. All right, now do you have pictures to show me of what it looked like in natural light?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see it. Well, there are two where I can clearly see what you're complaining about. I'm going to show these two to the defendant. Some of the other ones I can't see. What you're complaining about are those purplish spots. Who is Zena? Step up, please. Can you explain that to me, Zena?
Well, when
I see the highlights.
Right.
And I also see some purple there that would be distressing. What's that from?
Well, when she had first walked in, she had 4 different colors in her hair. And I told her step by step what I was going to do. And we had talked about the haircut, and she loved it. Her hair was uneven, and...
Zena, don't try to confuse me. I'm not talking to you about the cut. I've already said to her, your hair was too short. It's longer now. It's fine. Sure, keep your hair a little shorter anyway. It makes you look younger. What I'm talking about is the purple in her hair. She didn't come into your salon with purple in her hair. So explain to me how she ended up with purple in her hair.
It was not a purple in her hair.
That's purple.
This was under the light, so it shows like a burgundy brown. And
no, it shows peculiar looking. It doesn't show natural. It's very peculiar. You know, for somebody going to a punk rock concert, it's fine. But that is a little peculiar. Let me have it back. So what you're telling me, Zena, is you can't explain it. That's just the way the color grabbed her hair. Is that what happened?
Well, I had to use that to kill the 4 colors in her hair. And she loved it when I was done.
No. In your light, she loved it. You know, I've seen teenagers with this in their hair, but not grown-ups. They don't wear it. All right. Not awful. I mean, you didn't have spots. And you said in your complaint you had spots. I thought it looked like a leopard, you know, with spots.
Oh, no.
These were streaks of color that had purplish, reddish tints. It's the way the color grabbed your hair, right? Okay. Other than that, it looks fine. Other than that, you got nice highlights. I think she did a nice job on the highlights. It's just where the red grabbed your hair.
Correct. The blonde was fine.
So why didn't you go back to them?
I contacted the salon after I got home and saw it in the natural light, and Zena got on the phone, and she kept saying, well, no, it looks good on you. You liked it when you laughed. And I said, no, in a natural light, it looks like red grape juice is in my hair. And I said, I have got to get this fixed. I have to go to work on Monday. I can't go to work with my hair like this.
So what did Zena say?
Well, we went back and forth for a few minutes, and then she said, I'm booked. The soonest I can take you would be Tuesday afternoon.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so what did you do?
Well, I was very upset. I needed something done. I called a salon that was open on a Sunday, asked if there was anyone there that could do corrective color.
So?
She okayed it that day, and
Zena, listen to me. The blonde highlights, dear, look fine. The purple does not look fine. Your customer called and said, when I got out into the natural light, which is where most people see me, it looks funny. I can't go to work on Monday morning like this. And you acknowledged that you said to her, there's nothing I can do. I'm booked. If somebody calls really upset, maybe you take an extra half hour, or you have somebody else take one of your clients, or you say, come in and I'll have somebody else take care of you in order to accommodate a customer. I'll hear you.
She didn't have the initial conversation with the plaintiff in the beginning. Kelly. So
fine.
When you're
Kelly, step up.
Judge Judy continues, and Catherine Juergens claims hairstylist Zena Kanuna dyed her hair purple. She is suing for the cost to have it redone.
You had the initial conversation,
Yes.
Kelly. What did she say to you?
She called and she said she would like to come in. Her daughter said her hair looked purple when she got home, so she'd like to come in and get her hair recolored. And I said I'd have to talk to Zena and see if she could squeeze her in. So by the time I talked to Zena, it was probably around 4:30. We closed at 6. That I got a chance to talk to her.
What time has
again.
she called you, Kelly?
Around 3:30.
What time had you called her?
It's about 3:30.
So you got to speak, the first opportunity that you had to speak to Zena was an hour later.
About then, yes.
Good.
I
Go
had to
ahead.
call twice.
You called twice?
Yes, I did. The
Okay,
first.
go.
Okay.
Go ahead. And what
So
happened?
the next time she called back and I talked to her, I said the next time Zena could see her would be Tuesday, that she couldn't fit her in. It's not that Zena did not want to do her, that she was not able to fit
Don't
her in.
editorialize. She called you at 3:30 and you did nothing. This is what I'm getting, Kelly. Then she called back, and when she called back, you went to speak to Zena. Is that what happened?
No, I had talked to Zena and I hadn't had the chance to call her back yet.
But you hadn't called her back. She had to call you.
Yes.
That's not good business. Because if she hadn't called you back, you may not have called her at all if you were busy. Don't speak. Not good business. So you told her when you called back that Zena couldn't fit her in, and the
Yes.
earliest she could see her was Tuesday.
Yes.
How did it come about that Zena got on the phone with her?
I don't know when she talked to Zena. I think it was the second time she called back. She may have talked to Zena then.
Is that right?
No, that's not correct. The first time I called, she said Zena was with a customer and she'd give her my message. I did tell her I was unhappy with my hair, so I waited for an hour and I didn't hear anything back, so I called again and then I spoke with Zena.
So you can have a seat. And you can have a seat. It's easy. Your customer was blown off, and it wasn't good business. What did you expect her to do? I mean, you didn't know about the situation, but what would you expect her to do? Wait until Tuesday?
No. I didn't, first of all, I didn't think it looked as bad as those pictures indicate.
That's what it looks like.
And she wasn't blown off.
Yes, she was. She was blown off by Kelly. In her mind, she was blown off.
Right.
Because if you call at 3:30 and say, I'm really unhappy with my hair, would you call me back? And 4:30 comes, you know, the salon closes at 6 o'clock and nobody's called you back. And my sense is that Kelly would not have called her back. Kelly was not, on Saturday when everybody is real busy, she was not calling back a dissatisfied customer. The salon is closed Sunday and Monday probably. The earliest she could see her was Tuesday anyway. What's the point in calling her back? So, what would you expect her to do?
Well, when she called the first time, she asked to speak to Zena, and the conversation was regarding that. It was also about her hair and not being happy about it, but she had asked to speak to Zena, so there really wasn't a whole lot of reason for us to call back till Zena was available.
What? You hear the groaning? They're not supposed to do that. What I'm telling you is, if you're in business and you want to keep a customer and you're not blowing her off, Kelly, who looks like a very healthy young lady, says, hold on one moment, walks over to Zena, says, can I speak to you a minute? Just take 2 seconds. Put down the scissors. Did someone say she's unhappy about it? She really wants to come in. You have time for her today? No, I don't have time for her today.
Okay.
Comes back to the phone and says, I'm sorry, she can't see you today. I mean, it's not as if Zena is involved in brain surgery. She's going like this, making with some dye, right? Folding it together and putting it down, right? Right. That's not taking out somebody's, aorta. So she went and had her hair fixed elsewhere. As far as I'm concerned, Miss Jerkins, you only have to pay it for it once. Once. So you didn't get the service that you wanted at their salon.
Right.
They're not entitled to be paid. So your counterclaim's dismissed. But that means that you got your hair colored the way you liked it, right?
Well, it wasn't really the way I liked it. I had to be
It's
colored
never
dark.
perfect. Come on. God makes it perfect. Beauty parlors try their best, but it's not perfect. And then you went someplace else and had it made better, right?
Well, yeah, it was better.
Good. So why are you wasting your time suing them? You had your hair fixed. I mean, what do you want? You want them to pay you thousands of dollars because you were unhappy?
No.
So what do you want?
I wanted to be reimbursed for the correction that had to be done on my hair.
Let me explain something to you, Miss Jergens. Sometimes color grabs differently, depending upon what you had for breakfast sometimes. Even what you eat can affect how color grabs your hair. Your hormones that day can determine how color grabs your hair. How much sun you have on a particular spot in your hair can determine how color grabs your hair. It's an imperfect thing. It's not nature. It's chemical.
I understand.
So what I'm looking at, the job that Zena did, being fair to both of you, looks like a very reasonable, skilled highlight job. The only problem is that some of the color grabbed your hair wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Fair statement?
Fair statement.
Good. Go home. You're a very nice lady. That's all. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I'm just glad to have it over with. I can see that we made a mistake in not servicing the plaintiff.
I thought the outcome was fair.
I think the judge was fair.
It's not what I wanted, but I thought it was fair.
I think that just making sure that we respond to phone calls within a certain amount of time if there are any complaints. We don't get many of them, but if there are any, we'll take care of it right away.
And now Jacob Hinton is suing his ex-girlfriend, 16-year-old Sammy Jo Harper, and her mother, Sherry Estrada, for the return of a car stereo. Sammy Jo and Sherry are countersuing for stolen property and harassment.
Yeah, this is case number 116 on the calendar in the matter of Hinton versus Harbor Estrada. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks have seats.
How old are you, Mr. Hinton?
19.
What's your first name?
Sammy?
Sammy, what's your last name?
Harbor.
Sammy used to be your girlfriend.
Yes.
This is her mom.
Yes, ma'am.
What you're complaining about is, while Sammy was your girlfriend, you claim to have loaned her some stereo equipment for her car.
Yes.
And you want it back.
Yes.
Sammy says you didn't loan her anything. You made her a gift of the stereo equipment for her car. And in addition, that you've been making a real pest of yourself, harassing her. You broke into her car, took back a piece of the equipment that you claim to have loaned her, an amplifier. Is that right, Sammy?
Yes.
Is that right, Mr. Hinton?
No.
Did you take back an amplifier?
No, Your Honor.
Who did? Anybody you know?
I've never heard nothing about it.
Mr. Hinton, let's not play with each other. Do you have the amplifier back?
No, Your Honor.
They also say that you broke into the house,
It's not correct.
killed her goldfish, calling, sending emails, making a general pest of yourself. And they're countersuing. So tell me how it came about that you gave her this stereo equipment.
Well, we broke up May of 2002. We remained friends, and in August she came over and wanted to borrow all that equipment. We were still friends, and I had plenty of it, so I let her borrow it. And she wanted to borrow the amplifier.
Tell me what she said to you.
She said, "Can I borrow it?
Can I borrow what? Mr. Hinton?
Can I borrow the speakers, the amplifier, 212s, 210s?" And she just bought a new car. She wanted to put it in there. And she said she'd give it back once her mother bought her some new ones.
She'd give it back once her mother bought her some new ones.
Yes.
And what did you say?
I said, yes. We're still
Well, what would
friends."
happen, Mr. Hinton, if her mother never bought her new ones?
Well, she'd eventually give it back.
You didn't have that discussion.
Well, she said her mother would buy her new ones.
That's not what you said to me, Mr. Hinton. You got to be very careful, sir. You got to get up real early in the morning. If I believed what you say, she said, can I borrow yours or can I have yours until my mother buys me my own?
She said, can I borrow yours until my mother buys me some more?
Right. Okay, let's say she said that to you.
And...
Shh, listen to me. Let's say she said that to you.
All right.
Let me explain a contract to you, Mr. Hinton. Because what you're suing on is a verbal contract. A loan. A loan has to have an offer and acceptance and some possibility, an offer, which means you offered to loan her the equipment. She accepted the offer to borrow the equipment, according to you. That's not what she's going to tell me, but according to you. And then there has to be an event that's going to happen that causes the equipment to go back. Do you understand? An event like May 2nd, June 6th, on Bird's birthday, on my birthday, on your birthday, the equipment's going to go back. In your case, what you told me is she told you that the equipment would go back to you when her mother bought her new equipment. Do you understand?
Yes.
And my question to you is, what happens if her mother never buys her new equipment? That means you never get your equipment back. Do you understand the terms of the contract, sir?
Yes, but a few months I called her back and she said she'd send it back with her mother when she came to Albuquerque. And then I waited, her mother never showed up. I called again, she gave me the same runaround. So then the third time I called, she said, if you want your stuff, come get it yourself. And she lives about 3 hours away from me. So I drive down there, I stay at a friend's house, Las Cruces, which is about 70 miles from there.
Shh, don't interrupt him.
Which is about 70 miles from there. And I call her in the morning before she goes to school. She says, come get it at 3:30. I said, all right. I go over there, I call her house, nobody's home. I call again after I drive around, still nobody's there. So I go to her school.
You're putting me to sleep, you know that.
I go to her school, and I see her car there. I'm parked out there in the parking lot, and I see her grandparents. They drive up to my car saying, what are you doing here? We don't want you here. We don't want you around Sammy Joe. I say, Sammy Joe told me to come get my stuff. I'm here to get it. Then they get me saying that I stole stuff from her, CDs, tapes from a 70-year-old woman and man. I don't think I listen to that kind of music. And then I say, can you just go ask Sammy Joe if she has my stuff so I can get out of this town? They park next to a gray car. They come back, and the gray car comes circling around me, like the guys in the car throwing their hands up, yelling and wanting to fight. And the grandparents are all, look, they don't want you in this town, you better leave. I said, what did Sammy Joe say? He said, your equipment's in her boyfriend's car, and you're not getting it back. Your Honor, her boyfriend don't even have a car. So at that point, I was frustrated. I went home, and I received these emails from her, some very vulgar emails, if you would like to read them.
I would certainly like to read them.
And in...
Mr. Hinton, how old was Sammy when you gave her the equipment?
15.
See, that's another problem you have, Mr. Hinton, because what you are suing on in court is a contract, right?
Yes.
Because a contract can be written or it can be verbal. You didn't have a written contract. With her, it was verbal, right?
But my witness was there when she said about it.
You're not paying attention to me, sir. You're paying attention to what's going on in your own head. What we're talking about here is a verbal contract, which has the same force and effect as a written contract, right? Except you have to be 18. Because a minor can't enter into a binding contract. Now I'll read the emails. Well, although this has to do with your lack of sexual prowess, sir, this has nothing to do with this has absolutely nothing to do with the stereo equipment. It's interesting.
This one, right?
Listen to me. It's interesting, but it has absolutely nothing to do with this case. So while I found it sort of salty, dear, I won't even show it to your mother.
Judge Judy continued. Hinton says ex-girlfriend 16-year-old Sammy Jo Harper owes for the return of a car stereo. Sammy Jo says Jacob won't stop harassing her.
Now I'll read the other one. Thanks, Bird. What is this?
It's a letter my grandmother wrote.
I'm not interested in a letter that your grandmother wrote, sir.
Asking her about whether or not I let her borrow it or not. And she says, in the highlighted, she clearly writes that she's going to return it.
Talk about a PlayStation here.
Yeah, in her counterclaim, she says she bought the whole PlayStation, which she did not. When that, she says she did not.
Get with the issue, Mr. Hinton. The issue is the stereo equipment for the car. Now, Sammy, how old are you, dear?
16.
First of all, I'm going to suggest that there's a very good lesson to you. Don't put things in writing that you don't want other people to read. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you have some emails to show me that he sent to you?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see them.
Are you sure?
Am I sure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are from one of his friends from Albuquerque.
I don't want to read emails from his friends.
Well, from him and him telling this
Just
girl.
a second. Would you return these to him? I don't have time to read a tome. If I wanted to read a good book, I would buy a good book. Get me the emails from him.
There's one in the back.
And don't aggravate me. My voice is going today. Thanks, Bert. I guess you're not going into the ministry either. You know that there are other four-letter words in the English language like love and like and
Bike.
And bike, right? Bike, right? Joke. Dumb. It's a four-letter word that comes to mind.
Hate.
Hate. No. Dumb. No. Doesn't hate. He's 19. He was 18. He was 17 when he was involved with your daughter. They have raging hormones. You know, their best friend isn't their mind.
No.
If you know what I mean.
Not by
both of them.
I know.
Both of them. Their best friend isn't their brain. Sometimes it stays that way.
Hopefully not.
All right, but I don't want to deal with this anymore. Mr. Hinton, you gave her the stereo equipment. Get over it. Stop crying. Stop fetching. Now, what proof do you have that he broke into your house and your harassment, the emails that you're talking about, the emails that he wrote to?
Yeah.
You ought to read hers.
I have. Yes.
Well, so stop. I don't want any fetching about the emails. I want to know what proof that you have that he broke into your house.
During the time that we were together, which is approximately 2 years, he was over at my house a lot, and I have 2 dogs, and they don't let strangers into our yard and our house area. And we had just moved here, and they're not going to let anybody they don't know into our yard. And they broke into my room specifically, and he's the only one that had been in my house and knows what room.
That's not proof good enough for a court.
Ma'am.
Unless your mother has some other proof.
The neighbor across the street saw a vehicle.
Be more than happy to hear the neighbor.
Well, this isn't the neighbor. This is the boy that was there that she was a witness to when he gave her the equipment, but...
I need a witness.
Okay.
Not you telling me what a witness is going to tell me. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, do you have any proof?
An email where he admitted stealing the CDs out of the car.
That if he admitted,
Go get it.
to shut. Hey, if you have an email where he acknowledges that he stole property out of her car, I will read it.
We didn't bring it, but we do have it. I'm sorry.
Okay. If you had the email, I would read it.
Okay.
That's a confession. It's a
Yes,
written
ma'am.
confession. And then I would show it to him.
Okay.
Confront him with it. Anything else?
Well, we're countersuing for the harassment, too. Not only did...
What harassment?
Calling, coming by. We asked him not to call our house. He threatened her. He broke into my house, which you say I can't prove. That's fine. He claimed his grandmother, which you have that email, said that he says my son let him into our house at that date. My son was gone to a barrel race with me.
I never said that.
Listen to me. Let's get over it. When was the last contact your daughter had with him?
The day that he took me up into
He
the
kidnapped
mountains
her.
when we had gone.
Give me the date.
It was before I had gotten the speaker equipment. And he had given me the speaker equipment as...
As a witness.
Give me the date.
It's September.
September of 02.
About there, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So the last...
That's after I gave you the... That's after I said I gave it to her in August.
It was August or September.
I'm asking you a question. The last contact you had with him was in September of 2002?
August.
Except for when he came
his
to our
grandmother.
house.
When was that?
He came in February to...
February of 03?
Yes,
And we
ma'am.
went to her house.
He came in February of 03.
Since then, has he contacted you?
He calls and hangs up.
You can't prove that.
Caller ID.
Then I think that you should file a police report.
They told me to at our local county.
Well,
They
then that's
wanted
what you
me
ought to
to
do.
throw him
File a
in jail.
police report because that's aggravated harassment
Yes,
if he's
ma'am.
doing it. You have him arrested for that. Good,
Yes,
that's what
ma'am.
you ought to do. But other than that, he hasn't come around. Is that right? Since February?
No, ma'am. Until we got
Perfect.
this notice.
Perfect. Mr. Hinton, I want you to listen to me very carefully. Have you ever been incarcerated?
No.
Would you like to be incarcerated?
No.
There is a strong possibility, that if you don't leave these people alone, you're going to find yourself incarcerated. Now, I know that 19 sounds like, you still got years to go before you develop. But in the eyes of the law, you're a grown-up. And this kind of kid stuff is not kid stuff anymore. Calling, hanging up, having somebody else call, hang up, sending stupid emails that may not be threatening, but just put your hand down, madam. It's all stupid because it can get you into trouble. It's over with Sammy Joe. The love affair is over. She doesn't want to have any part of you anymore. The only part that she wants to have of you is the stereo equipment that you let her borrow until her mother got her new stuff. By the way, did you ever get her new stereo equipment?
No, ma'am.
Well, then the eventuality, even if she could make a contract, never came to pass. So I'm going to suggest that you devote your time to going to school, maybe take a business course in contracts. But leave her alone. Now, Semi,
Yes.
sometimes young girls, even though they don't want to have anything to do with exes anymore, like to feel as if they still have their attention. That better not be so in this case, because if you write him, call him, contact him, tell a friend you'd like to see him, whatever it is, it's not very smart. You let Mr. Hinton and his hormones grow up. You got it? Now, it's been many months since there has been contact between the two of you. The longer that goes, the better off you both are. So you have February, March, April, May, June, July. Months. It's over. You have a new girlfriend?
No.
Listen, Mr. Hinton,
What?
find one. What are you doing with your life?
Nothing.
You go to school
Yes, Your Honor.
5 days a week?
2.
For what?
Medical school.
You go to medical school 2 days a week? In what country? I want to stay away from that country. What kind of medical school do you go to 2 days a week, sir?
TVI.
What are they teaching you to do?
Be a radiology technician.
That's good. That's not medical school, by the way. You're learning to be a radiology technician. Why only 2 days a week?
That's full time.
Do you live at home?
Yes.
Why aren't you working?
I haven't found a job.
What?
I haven't found a job.
How hard are you looking?
Not really hard.
You still in school?
I just graduated.
And what are you doing?
I start college in Las Cruces in August.
Good. Say goodbye to each other. Hopefully you're not going to see each other again. Right? Good. Don't email him. Don't call him. Don't contact him. Sir, forget her number. You got it?
It's already forgotten, Your Honor.
Good. And if you're smart, you change your number. You don't want him to call. Change your number. You run a business out of the house?
No, ma'am.
Good. Change your number. Bye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I had emails and witnesses saying that he gave it to me.
Well, it's kind of ridiculous.
It didn't fit in his vehicle anyways.
This woman ruined my life.
He lies totally. And he doesn't work because he lives off his grandma helping him.
She's a curse. Look at her.
He just needs to grow up.
She's just all in all ruined it.
He wants to see Sammy. He wants her back.
Never, ever.
They're going to keep bugging me and everything.
She felt sorry for him.
During the time that we were together, he was probably my best friend.
I'd like to see them out of my lives and my stuff back, but obviously that's not going to happen.
He kidnapped her.
He took me up into the mountains and told me he was supposed to go take me to get a new tire for my car.
And he slashed.
My friends were following in the back, and the only reason he stopped was because his truck bottomed out.
It's ridiculous. They're both crazy. Look at him, man.
That she'll learn when I tell her that somebody's not right for her, that they're not right for her.